This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It is that time again. High school basketball season is back on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and we are live from Lexington, Oklahoma tonight for the very first edition of the OSN Game of the Week. It's the Sulphur Bulldogs, the Lexington Bulldogs, an all Bulldogs affair to get us started in the 2023-2024 basketball season. Josh Calloway on hand here at Lexington, joined alongside my partner in crime, Jordan Ray. Jordan, last time you were on the mic was the 5A state title game last year. Del City, Carl Albert at Lloyd Noble Center, a classic went to OT. It was an awesome season. We're hoping for more of the same in 23-24, and we're kicking it off the right way here with an all Bulldogs matchup here in Lexington.
Yeah, Josh, I was going to mention that exact same thing. When we did that game about 8.5 months ago, it's been that long, I was thinking about it yesterday. I didn't even realize the offseason plus the preseason was that long, but it is. When we got to that game, Carl Albert versus Del City, which, by the way, is the football matchup for 5A state this year. We may talk about that some later in the broadcast. But the thing is, you and me, we were so familiar with both teams. I mean, we knew them not as well as the coaches did, but we knew them very well.
Yeah.
And also the teams knew each other very well, of course, both being Middale schools. And tonight, that familiarity is not there, which is great. It makes for a different challenge, but I'm glad this is new territory for both of us, with both Lexington and Sulphur. And the other thing is, Josh, they're new to each other. Mm-hmm. They've had this game this year. They did not play last year. I don't know when they last played, but they're pretty much not familiar with each other. And so a lot of feeling out here. The teams, both girls and boys, will be getting used to their own players because it's their first game of the season. They're going to get used to the other team. And we're going to get used to getting back in basketball mode. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Excited to get this going. It's a cross-class matchup. Sulphur from 4A, Lexington in 3A. It's the first night of the season for both these teams, so it's going to be just exciting to see how these squads kind of shake off the rust and get out there. There's a lot of buzz on opening night in every sport when you get it going. So excited to have this matchup for you on OSN. Great way to start the season for us of basketball coverage on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, we're going to take a timeout here. When we come back from break, Coach for the Lexington Lady Bulldogs, Jacoby Couch, caught up with Jordan Ray ahead of this ball game here tonight on OSN. We'll show you that interview, and we'll get you all ready for lineups and the first game. The girls will be starting us off here in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. High school basketball is back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, I'm joined by the head coach of the Lexington girls basketball team, someone I've known for a few years, Jacoby Couch. All right, Coach, let's start with this. You were a boys coach at the middle school level, AAU level, assistant boys coach at the high school level up until 2020, and you switched over to the girls side, and you've been a girls coach since, both AAU and in high school. Talk about what made you make that transition, and how has it gone for you so far?
I think my niece. So my niece was a junior, I believe, at Midwest City, and so she had a team, a group of girls that wanted to play, and so they asked me to coach. Before that, I was like, I'll never coach girls basketball. Coached them, fell in love with it, and now I don't think I'll ever go back. So it was kind of that is what kind of springboarded the transition to coaching girls.
And then you came from Del City. You were assistant coach there for a couple of years. What was the biggest transition last year as a head coach, coming from Del City as an assistant girls coach?
The behind the scenes stuff, the paperwork, and that type of stuff. Because as an assistant, you really don't have to worry about that. You show up to practice, you watch film, you can do that type of stuff. But all the behind the scenes stuff, setting up scrimmages and doing fundraisers and just all that was kind of eye opening for me. So that was probably the biggest eye opener for me. And then going from a big school to a smaller school it's completely different.
Yeah, of course, for sure. Let's talk about your team. What do you like about them? You've been practicing with them. You haven't played a game yet with this particular team. What do you like about them, and where's some of the players we need to keep an eye on?
I really love their attitude. I never, ever have to coach attitude with them. Never have to get on to them about attitudes and stuff like that. They're all really, really good kids. And I know all coaches say that, but I really mean like they're really exceptional kids in the classroom, outside the classroom. So that is the biggest thing that I love about them. And then they buy in. So from the moment I came here, they bought into me. They gave me a chance. They accepted me. And, they've just rocked with me ever since then. Some players, Abby Sample is one that is going to definitely have to. She should have a big game for us. She should have a big senior season for us. Addison Lipple's another one. She's a junior, so I also have one more year with her. She is just an explosive spark plug, and you'll see when she comes off the bench. I mean, she's nothing but energy, nonstop, and she's like that outside of basketball. She's just go, nonstop. Obviously, Keely Given, she'll be a big presence inside to kind of clog up stuff there in the lane. And then also Landry Bean will be someone, she's working back from an ACL injury. So she's just kind of getting her feet underneath her now. But as the season goes on, she's only going to get stronger and better. So she'll be one to look forward down the line.
All right. So you don't have any game film, obviously, of your opponent, Sulphur, because it's first game of the season. So what can you say about, and you also didn't play him last year. So what can you say about Sulphur that you know? I mean, a couple of Bulldogs teams, but what else about this matchup?
Actually, funny, I ended up texting Coach Todd, and I said, hey, I can't find anybody you scrimmaged. You probably having trouble finding somebody I scrimmaged, so let's just switch game. Let's just exchange film. And so he agreed, and so he sent me one of his scrimmages. I sent him one of my scrimmages, and so we were able to see about them. I know they're fairly young and inexperienced, but Coach Todd is a great coach, and so he will have them ready. So I expect them to be very sound, fundamental. Because, like I said, Coach Todd, I mean, he's a really, really good coach, and I expect them to be well coached and give us everything that they got.
All right, last question. What do you draw from your Mid-Del experience, both as an assistant coach with Midwest City for all those years on the boys' side, and then as assistant coach on the girls' side? What are some principles you draw from your coaching time before last year?
The biggest thing is competing, right? Just going out there and competing and believing in yourself and character. being able to do all those things while having good character. I just believe good things happen to good people. So when your character's good, things will happen in your favor. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I've always taken with me that I try to instill into my girls is, character, effort, and being able just to go compete with whoever they line up against us.
All right, Coach Couch, thank you very much for your time. We look forward to our matchup tonight.
All righty. Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
It's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
All right, back in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray with you. Jada Idolette working the camera for us. Appreciate her helping us out here tonight in Lexington. Getting ready to get this one going, the 2023-2024 season tipping off here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Really excited to get this one going here in Lexington. First time I've been out here in a long time. I did football out here, Jordan, like 5 years ago. First time ever coming out here for hoops. So excited cover new ground. Me and you have been to a lot of random places, and this is another one we can check off here tonight with Lexington.
I'm excited. I love the setup here. We're sitting pretty close.
Not bad, yeah.
And, one of the reasons we're here and this early, it's not often we go this early. I mean, football's not technically over, but and still November. But we're here because of Lexington High School and their head girls coach, Jacoby Couch. That's the reason you saw the interview I had with him a couple nights ago that we played it for you just now. He wanted us to come out because he's got that Del City or Mid-Del connection. He's been an assistant coach at Del City for 2 years. Before that, he was assistant coach for Midwest City Boys, then Del City Girls. And so he's familiar with the Oklahoma Sports Network because we're affiliated with Mid-Del. And he was asking me since the summer, like, you guys should come out for games. It's like, all right. And I told him, like, we need to get sponsorships. And he came through. We got 3 of them. We'll talk about them as the time goes on. But that's why we're here. And so this can keep going. We may do some more games in Lexington. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, in part because I really want to put a spotlight on Coach Couch. Again, he's got the Mid-Del roots, and I know him. He is a really good coach who's been dying for this head coaching opportunity. He loves it here. It's his second year with the program. You're about to see their starting lineups pronounced.
Yeah.
And he's excited about his team, and that makes me want to call a game more when I know a coach is excited about what he has on the floor.
Absolutely, and it's a great environment in here. Obviously, an intimate setting. Here are nice facilities in Lexington and a pretty darn packed crowd. A lot of Sulphur folks made the trip as well. So we're about ready to get this thing popping. Starting lineups here first for the Sulphur Lady Bulldogs, coached by Toby Todd. Number 10, Kinsey Atkinson is a 5'7 senior. Number 12, Mabry Jones is a 5'7 senior as well. Jadalyn Shear, number 20, is a 5'8 senior. Racy Runyon, number 23, is a 5'9 senior. And then number 35, Courtney Keith rounds out 5'9 senior. So an all-senior starting five for Sulphur. For Lexington, of course, like we said, coached by Jacoby Couch. Number 0 is Riley Markovich. She's a 6-foot even sophomore. Number 10 is Jordan Hardy, a 5'6 senior. Number 12, Charlie Moore, a 5'5 senior. Number 14, Keely Givens, a 6'1 senior. And number 24, Abby Sample rounds it out, a 5'8 senior. Obviously, season opener, both teams are 0-0. Sulphur in 4A, Lexington in 3A. The Bulldogs in the road grays with the red lettering. Lexington at home with the black numbers and letters. Opening tip is off and won by the home squad. Lady Bulldog. I got to be careful with the Bulldogs. I did it already. Both teams are Bulldogs, so we'll have that a little, not something you usually need on opening night when you're shaking some rust off. But here we go. First possession for Lexington.
Looks like a 3-2 zone for Sulphur.
This is Hardy with the basketball here first for Lexington. Dishes it over to Moore. To the top, Abby Sample. Pass underneath to this Mackenzie Manuel, action number 30. That's different than what we had in the projected starters. And a turnover here as the Sulphur Lady Bulldogs go back to the way. 3-ball in the corner is blocked. It was a good look for Runyon, but had her shot knocked loose. Now it's on the deck. Diving after it and a tie-up and the first jump ball of the season. And the arrow will favor the road squad here after Lexington won the opening tip.
So what we'll be interested to watch is the pressure Lexington's able to play, because, again, going back to Coach Couch, that's what he comes from, playing relentless pressure on defense.
Inside the lane, little underneath pass here to Shear, and she goes up for the shot and is bumped and fouled. And with 7:12 on the clock, we'll have our first free throws and our first look at the charity stripe, which is sponsored by the Beans, Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate. The Bean family with Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Drinks wishes you a successful season. And like Jordan said, big thank you to those sponsors making this possible to do this game tonight. Sulphur and Lexington. Missed the first, second one rolls home, and the first point of the year goes right there to the Lady Bulldogs, 1-0 Sulphur. Back to the way here comes Lexington. Sample jab step. Picks up her dribble, feeds it off here into the backcourt, and resetting things is Jordan Hardy. In the corner, Sample for 3. That rolls off. Rebound is fought for and got. Second chance, but then a turnover. Manuel did a good job on the glass there, but then had her pass picked off by Shear. Manuel
needs to go shoot that. She had the size advantage underneath. She's got to go up with that.
6:44 and counting to play here in the first. Driving the baseline and backing out is Runyon. She'll take it out to the top of the key, feeds it off to Keith. Courtney Keith hands it off.
Lexington go with a man-to-man defense here.
Runyon, almost a walk. Trying to find somewhere to go with it. Bounce pass underneath. It's loose. Aggressive defense. Force another turnover. Some sloppy play early, as you might expect in the season opener. Down the lane, right-hand floater comes up short for Manuel. And another empty trip. Both teams looking for their first field goal here. As we near about 2 minutes in. Still 1-0 in favor of the Lady Bulldogs of Sulphur. I got to just cut out the saying Bulldogs completely. Sulphur's up 1-0. Runyon on the right wing, over to the top, just behind the free throw line. She'll go ahead and shoot it. Almost banked it home. Rebound is loose. Players diving everywhere. And with 5:51 to go here in the first, we have another whistle. Be the second foul against the home squad. By the way, the fouls are different this year in high school basketball. That's another thing we'll have to navigate. There is no, the fouls reset each quarter. There is no more 1-and-1s. You get to 5, you're in the bonus each quarter. So an all-new look this year. I'm fascinated, Jordan, to get your thoughts as we go along on how you think that might impact the game this season. As that shot doesn't go, another second chance opportunity for Sulphur. Open 3-ball left wing, too much. Rebound pulled in by Sample.
Well, one thing I'll be interested to see if the new rule changes how teams defend. if they're more aggressive, not worried about fouling as much.
Walk-in three is airballed there by Hardy. So both these teams, very chilly start from the field. I don't know if that's a little bit of nerves or just first time getting into game action. Who knows? First game of the season.
I think a lot of it's that. You will not see pretty basketball at the beginning of the season.
Down the lane here. Shot is up. That one's not going to fall. Rebound, though. Put back attempt. No. Might have got a hand on it there for Lexington was Givens. And it goes out of bounds. Will stay at this end with Sulphur still clinging to a 1-0 lead. 5:02 on the first quarter clock. Here's Runyon going down the right side. Some contact and she's fouled. So 4:55 on the first quarter clock. Runyon will head to that charity stripe, sponsored by the Beans, Mr. Yeti, Snow Cones, and Hot Chocolate. Want to make sure we also get our first quarter sponsor in there. I see him up in the corner. Clark's Floors and More. Locally owned and operated for over 27 years. Your one-stop shop for home improvement, specializing in floors. Go Lexington Bulldogs.
Yeah, these are very pro-Lexington sponsors we have, and we really thank them for helping us get here.
Another split trip at the charity stripe makes it 2-0 in favor of the Sulphur Lady Bulldogs. Lexington still looking to get on the scoreboard here at home.
That's a 1-3-1.
Pass deflected, another turnover. Very active defense, really, from both sides. Have not made it easy for either team so far. Left side, open three ball. That's going to come up short. It's loose. Ends up in the hands there for Sulphur's number 35, Courtney Keith. Shot attempt here won't go, and now we have whistle and an offensive foul here. Fighting for that rebound. They're going to get Shear. It'll be the first one against Sulphur.
So the tough part about a 1-3-1 defense, and that's what Lexington's facing here, is the getting it to the high post. That's really hard, and that's what you normally want to do against a zone. So it's tricky defense. I'm surprised more teams don't play it, actually.
Moore thought about the three, instead feeds over to Hardy. Hardy to the top, Sample for three. That one's just off to the right. So still in a cold start from the field for the both teams, obviously. Neither team has hit a field goal just yet. Sulphur has smartly got themselves to the line a couple of times. Pass deflected out of bounds here. It'll stay at this end. Good active hands on defense by Givens.
See a big student section right there on the
right where they're inbounding. 4:11 on the first quarter clock. Still looking for our first field goal of the 23-24 season here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Atkinson with the ball, part of this all-senior starting five for Coach Toby Todd in Sulphur. Jones, and another turnover here, and then the pass to Sample. She wasn't ready for it. Lexington gets away with it, though. Fast break here the other way for the Lady Bulldogs in the orange and black. Kick out, Sample for three. Too much. Rebound, putback attempt. That won't roll home. And another empty trip for Lexington. Hoops got a lid on it right now.
Yeah, and Sulphur's in the right defense. They're able to pack it in a little bit with that 1-3-1 defense, and Lexington's yet to show they can hit an outside shot.
3:32 and counting to play here in the first. Another turnover. Lexington's defense keeping them in, even though the offense obviously hasn't found it yet. Nice moves by Sample. Pull up, mid-range two. Rims in and out. It was halfway down, but it wouldn't stay. And the rebound is ripped down by Atkinson, and then she's bumped and fouled. That's going to be the fourth foul here in the first quarter. So one more bad one, and Sulphur will be in the bonus. And now we have a full line change here for Coach Jacoby Couch as he puts 5 new Lexington players in. Don't see that very often.
Yeah, we'll bear with you as you get used to new players here.
Yeah, no kidding.
But look, they're pressing right away. I like that. You bring in a new unit, they got to be fresh. I like putting them in a press.
Pass deflected, nicely done there by Emily Arms, but it is saved by Runyon. Sulphur keeps the possession for now, and Runyon will take it out toward the top. Look at all this dribbling to the rim and blocked. Nicely done by Peyton Pratt, a 5'5 freshman, getting the hand in there and poking that loose. And with exactly 3 minutes to play in the first, we're still looking for our first field goal. Kick out, Runyon, open three on the wing, too much. Rebound is loose. It'll go out of bounds, be last touched by Sulphur.
So Coach Couch told me that he feels like he can go 10 deep, and he's shown that when you bring in 5 new players in the first quarter. And, again, what they've done well is they've come in with a lot of energy on defense. Now it's the 3-2 defense for Sulphur. When that happens, you need to have a high post player you can trust.
Excuse me, I got the names mixed up. That was Hadley Wilkins who got that block earlier. Driving down the lane here, right-hand floater, Lexi Torres, the sophomore, and that's how you get on the board. Lexington on there, and it's 2-2. First field goal of the season. Back the other way, here is Atkinson. She'll hand it off to Runyon. Runyon crossover move, down the right block, kick out in the corner. This is a long 2. That one will go. Nice shot by Kinsey Atkinson. Puts the Lady Bulldogs of Sulphur back on top. Almost a travel there for Natalie Dixian. And a turnover underneath. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 4-2 Sulphur.
Good trap.
Runyon trying to get out of it, lost out of bounds. They will say last touched by Sulphur, right in front of that student section.
Should be an automatic rule. Anytime you pick up the ball past the timeline, that defense should be trapping you, and that's what Lexington did. So their defense is pretty good. They just cannot figure out how to make a shot against the zone. They did their last possession.
Open 3 in the corner for Landry Bean off the back iron, no good. Rebound comes out, pulled down by Torres. And they'll get another look at this. Wilkins around the horn, another 3 for Bean. That one off the front of the rim. Another, I spoke a little too soon. Thought Torres was going to have that, but Atkinson ran it down for Sulphur. Back to the way, nice bounce pass to Runyon, and she gets blocked out of bounds. Bean everywhere, the young player for Lexington making a play there.
I really like how Lexington is being able to use their hands effectively on defense. Very underrated skill because sometimes they'll lead you to fouls. Like right there they get a foul.
They're going to say on the floor, but it shouldn't matter if my understanding of the new rules are correct. That's the 5th foul.
That's right, and it will be 2.
Free throws. So here we go, our first look at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're new to high school hoops, before it was treated kind of like college basketball. You get to 7, you're in the regular bonus, single bonus, everyone term it. 10, you're in the double bonus each half. This year, it resets every quarter, almost like the NBA, and it's going to be 5 fouls, you're in the bonus. There is no more 1-and-1s. That's completely eliminated from the game now this year. It's going to be an all-new wrinkle.
That's the hard part. No 1-and-1s. And then a lot of these players, not all of them, but a few of them will go off to college where they still have the 1-and-1. That's one issue I have with the new rule change. I wouldn't take it out completely.
I kind of like the 1-and-1. Missed them both. And so back to the way, still 4-2. Each team's only made 1 shot. Sulphur's got a couple free throws. That's why they have the 4-2 lead. Here's Landry Bean in the corner to Torres. She has the 2 Lexington points so far. Across the lane here is Lapel. Kick out. And resetting things is Wilkins. Long pass, dangerous pass, and it's picked off. Back to the way, here goes Jaden Lee.
I hit it off Sulphur. They hit it off a Sulphur player. It's this Lexington ball. They tried to find the short corner there, did Lexington, but that passing angle was really bad. You can't go from left wing to right short corner. So that's the right idea, but they need to make 1 extra pass to make it a better angle.
Torres in the corner. Rocket pass, great find, but then a quick miss there by Dixie, and maybe rushed that a little more than she needed to. An empty trip there.
That was the best possession Lexington has had on offense.
An unforced error here in a turnover. That was a great find just by Torres.
Missed a wide open bunny there.
Kind of like I said, went a little quicker. You could have took your time, take a beat, put that home.
I mean, Coach Todd from Sulphur, he told me he's not sure his rotation will be at all right now. He's not very familiar with his team at the moment.
3 ball comes up short for Dixian, going back the other way as we're under 40 seconds now to play here in the first. 4-2 Sulphur. Runyon, pump fake and drive down the lane. Almost lost it, tries to scoop it under. Just good clean defense there by Lexington and Natalie Dixian, and they got it going back to the way. Here's Bean bringing it down. In the corner, pump fake, now to the top. Torres left wing, she'll fire a 3. Front of the rim, no. Rebound, put back attempt, no, by Wilkins. And Sulphur has it back. It can take the last shot here.
That almost never works when you try to tip it in like that. You just land on
no
your feet.
Body,
collect yourself, go up. You might get it blocked, but just go up strong, give yourself a chance.
Runyon 3, Clackham's first 3 ball of the year right at the end of the first quarter. Gets our 3-point sponsor in right at the buzzer, which is Hair with Care Salon, hair care for the whole family. And that's going to end the first quarter. After 1, it's Sulphur 7, Lexington 2. Second quarter on deck here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back at Lexington High School, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Fast start for Sulphur. They lead at 7-2. 3-ball right at the end of the first quarter there by Racy Runyon, number 23, one of these seniors. It's a very old Sulphur team. All senior starting five.
Yep. Old, but not that experienced. They lost a lot of the rotation players. So Coach talked about, again, talking about Coach Todd for Sulphur. A lot of these seniors have worked their way into this rotation, but they've had to wait their turn. They did not play a lot as juniors.
So back to the way, the Lexington's got it down 7-2. Driving the lane and having it turned over was Manuel.
Manuel's got to see she's got his teammate wide open in that left corner.
And tie up in a jump ball will give it back over to Sulphur. The arrow flipped at the quarter.
Jordan Hardy was wide open there. But again, I like Coach Couch is doing a bit of a three-quarter press, it looks like. Try to get yourself some easy baskets with forcing turnovers.
Down the lane here is Atkinson. Kick out, a long two off the side of the rim. No good for Keith. Rebound pulled in by Bean, and now we got bodies flying everywhere. We're going to have another tie-up and jump ball, which will favor the home team this time.
Now, Bean's got to be strong with the ball. When you have it, you either need to hold it high off a defensive rebound or chin it. But she kind of got the ball in an area where she didn't know about the defenders or where they were and kind of panicked there, but at least it worked out. Lexington still has the ball.
7:25 to play in the first half. In the corner, Sample for three. Front of the rim, no good. Sample's had a couple of nice-looking shots. Hasn't hit one yet, though. Second chance opportunity for Lexington. And we have whistles and a foul here as this will go on Sulphur.
Mabry Jones with a foul, just a little too aggressive there.
First one on Jones.
Well, I think what we're seeing a lot is these defenses know they are way ahead of the offenses. So they're going to try things because they know the offenses are not in sync right now.
Open three in the corner for Sample, a little too much. It'll be knocked out of bounds, and it'll go over to Sulphur. Yeah, one thing you can't accuse these teams of so far is letting their offense dictate their defense because both teams are flying around everywhere on defense, even though on the other end, obviously, it hasn't been pretty so far.
Now we got a full-court man. Will there be any trapping? Yes, there will.
Jones trying to get it up, got a double team. Nice job getting around it. Over to Runyon. Runyon underneath to Keith. Keith turnaround shot. Tough one and one. Courtney Keith through some contact, finished.
That's a big girl finish over two players,
that was
two
nice.
Bigger players.
That was nice.
See that in the replay?
Makes it 9-2. And back to the Cherry Stripe, brought to you by the Beans, Mr. Yeti, Snow Cones, and Hot Chocolate.
Who will be our quarter sponsor for the second quarter.
See him up in the corner there. Free throw is good for Keith. And now Sulphur's opened up a little bit of a lead here, 10-2. As Lexington's still looking to try and get that offense going. Here's Moore, and had her pass deflected and stolen. Another turnover for us. Sulphur's kept largely these same five out there so far in this game. Going down the lane, Atkinson, nice feed to Keith who finishes. That was a great dish. And it makes it a double-digit lead at 12-2, and Coach Couch wants to take a timeout and talk about it. 6:38 on the first half clock. We have a 30-second timeout here. Do you want to stick with it? Do you want to stick with it here through the break as it's a 12-2 lead? What does Lexington got to do, Jordan, to get the offense going a little bit? Obviously, the defense has been good, but now you're seeing Sulphur find a little rhythm offensively, a little bit of confidence, and they push this lead out a little bit.
Sulphur is daring Lexington to shoot, and so it's pretty simple. You gotta make some. That's obviously a simple thing to say. What you don't want to do is try to force stuff inside that's not there, and we have seen Lexington do that. They've tried to go into the post or drive into the teeth of the zone defense, and they had no opening there, and they turned the ball over as a result. And, yeah, this is a crucial juncture for Lexington, only 2 points. They have to figure out how to move the ball effectively on offense, and if they can do that, those shots will eventually fall.
So back to the way comes Lexington. Can they find some offense out of the break? Manual bounce pass to Hardy. Hardy, long dish over to Sample. Sample's been who they've tried to get going. It's clearly been kind of the focus of the offense so far is to get her good looks. Here that is again, and it's stolen by Runyon. Fast break, Runyon down the floor. Good hustle by Sample, but Runyon does a good job staying cool and collected and finishes it. Yeah. And it's now 14-2. That's 12 unanswered after Lexington tied it at 2.
Veteran play by Runyon.
Sample for 3, back iron, no. Rebound ripped down by Shear. And right now, Lexington's just kind of searching for answers on offense.
Now, I call it a veteran play because what Runyon did, she read the eyes of the offensive player and could anticipate she was making a long pass that Runyon could steal.
Runyon for 3. That one won't roll home. Shear, though, a nice rebound. Put back attempt, no, but she's bumped and fouled. And back to the cherry stripe goes Jadalyn Shear, the 5'8 senior for Sulphur.
Yeah, Lexington starting to now get beat on the offensive glass. The score's starting to wear them down some.
First free throw rolls home. Friendly roll there. Makes it 15-2.
We're going to see more mass subs.
And now you're seeing a bunch of new players back in the game, like you said, for Lexington, as you got Landry Bean back in the game, along with Hadley Wilkins, 22, Addison Lapel back in, also Lexi Torres, who has those 2 points.
Extended minutes for Lexington without Keely Givens, that's a little surprising.
Yeah, I saw her start this game. Here's Lapel. Torres, bounce pass over to Bean. And this pass can be deflected out of bounds. Nice active hands there by Mabry Jones to poke that loose.
Yeah, they're not placing very well against this zone. And again, Sulphur can sense that. And so they're seeing, okay, we can get some deflections when we play the passing lane.
Torres rocket pass underneath, kick out to Dixian. Thought about it, now she'll put it on the floor. Back out to the top. Nice ball movement here. Torres in the corner now to Lapel. She'll put up a mid-range 2, won't go. Pinball's out of bounds, be last touched by Sulphur.
No need for Sulphur to change defenses, that's for sure. They're playing their zone responsibilities really well.
Lapel will do the inbound. Getting close to that 5 seconds, and there it is. Right on cue.
Tough because she had Torres coming in. Torres is a sophomore. Torres was going to get a layup there and just developed a little bit too late. So again, can Lexington use their defense to generate some good offense?
Good job breaking through some pressure there for Sulphur. Is racing down as Atkinson. Her pass here looking for Runyon is deflected. Diving on the floor is Wilkins. And it'll be called a tie-up, and the arrow will keep it down here with Sulphur.
Wilkins, another sophomore. You know, if she just expects that ball to come to her, she could have caught it more clean and maybe gotten a transition opportunity.
4:59 to play in the first half. 15-2 Sulphur. Here's Atkinson going all the way across the lane and can't quite finish it. Ball is loose and knocked out of bounds. Be last touched by Sulphur there, so a stop for Lexington.
Lexington, they weren't sound on their switching there when she was using the screens, was Atkinson, and so she got a good layup, just couldn't make it.
Lapel pump faked it, feeds it over to Wilkins. Wilkins long pass, that's just an errant one. It wasn't deflected, goes right out of bounds and a turnover.
Dixon needs to move up. She's not at a place where you can make a good pass to her, so she needs to move up a little wider.
Almost could have been caught there by Sulphur coach Toby Todd. Almost hit him right in the chest. Inbound pass deflected and stolen. Good active hands on defense again, and now being bumped from behind is Lapel. She'll go to the floor, and that'll be the second foul on Sulphur. Each team with 2 now in the second quarter.
Is that Jaden Lee got the foul there? If so, that's a freshman. No, it's 35.
They got on Keith.
So a senior playing very aggressive.
Sample will inbound it to Lapel, feed it back to Sample. Thought about it, now she'll put it on the floor and drive. Shot is deflected, but not cleanly, and a foul. And to the free throw line, here goes Sample.
And she's probably the best or most skilled player for Lexington, along with Givens. And we missed it. If Gibbons has fouls, that might be one of the reasons she's not in. But that's probably one of the ways that Lexington can attack. They need to use the pump fake, even though they're kind of given the shot by Sulphur. Still use the pump fake as a chance to drive the lane. And at times the Sulphur will bite on that pump fake. As long as you pass the ball, Chris, you make Chris passes, you'll have those opportunities.
First free throw rattles out. Second one for Sample will go off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Keith. So an empty trip to the line, but pressure defense forces a turnover. Turnaround shot for Lapel won't go. So nice defense to get themselves another look, but couldn't finish it. And Sulphur gets the ball back the other way. Atkinson showing off the handles here, trying to get around her defender. A lot of dribbling here. Gets it back over to Jones. Got bumped a little bit. Left-hand pass underneath the Keith. Turnaround shot. That'll roll home. Another tough finish by Courtney Keith. She's had a couple of those in the paint.
Even though this game's in Lexington, we're sitting in the Sulphur side, so if you hear the crowd more, it'll
right
be
behind us, a bunch of students.
Because of where we're located.
Empty trip there again for Lexington. The offense just has not been able to find it. Nice pump fake for Runyon. Up and under move. That was pretty. 19-2. It's a 17-0 run. And with 3:40 playing until halftime, we have another timeout here taken. This one will be a full timeout, I do believe.
Yep, they're sitting down, full timeout.
So with 3:40 playing until halftime, 19-2 Sulphur on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at Academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Back in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3:40 to play until halftime here, where it's Sulphur Lady Bulldogs leading the Lexington Lady Bulldogs 19-2. Opening night of the 2023-2024 high school basketball season on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The road to the LNC, I guess road to the big house for these squads.
Yeah. And even though they're two different classes, of course, this will affect seeding, even though it's early in the season. This will affect seeding as
it all matters.
3A and 4A still go by seeding or by polls to determine seeding.
Turnaround shot won't go for Dixian. Another empty trip. Decent look, just didn't hit. And Sulphur has to go back the other way. Here's Atkinson, fire in the corner to Runyon. Runyon's had a couple nice moves in this game. Pass here deflected, ends up in the hands of Jones, and her shot is blocked. Out of bounds, will stay at this end.
Yeah, one thing that's happened is Sulphur has gotten used to how aggressive Lexington's playing on defense, and they've gotten some good driving lanes because of that. Once you get comfortable, you can start getting some good shots against the man or zone.
Inbound pass is stolen. Nice active hands there. Ends up in the hands of Sample. Long pass ahead to Manuel down the baseline. Nice finish there by the sophomore Mackenzie Manuel, and that breaks a very long scoring drought for Lexington.
She was like under the basket there.
That was nice. So make it 19-4, 2:48 to play until halftime. Jones almost lost it, but able to get it back. Now it does go out of bounds. It'll stay with Sulphur, though.
But that's basically what Lexington has to do to catch up. They got to find a way to score in transition. That's something they haven't been able to get going.
Yeah.
As well as the half court. But when the half court's not going well, you need to try ways to get scoring in transition.
Nice inbound feed to Atkinson, who couldn't finish it, though. Ball's on the deck. Lapel diving after it. It's still loose, rolling into the backcourt, still on the ground. And diving is Runyon.
You know,
and we're going to get a tie-up and a jump ball.
It's because that's a basketball and not a football. Doesn't mean it's easy to pick up. It's not as hard as a football that's fumbled on the ground, but it's still not easy if you're, especially if you've got sweaty hands.
Have to be careful diving around in here. Probably some of the tightest sidelines all the way around the court of anywhere that we've been all around, every single side. Very intimate setting here in Lexington. Miscommunication. Good job, though, to save it by Bean to avoid the turnover. Bean down the lane, right-hand floater. That's good. It's only a 4 run, but it's a little something here for Lexington as they try to cut into this thing before halftime.
Yeah, kind of a breakdown there for Sulphur's defense, but credit Bean. She found a soft spot in the zone and attacked it.
Jones here, left-hand shot. That won't go. Rebound is loose. Ends up back in the hands of Keith as she finishes. Courtney Keith putting together a nice first half, and it puts the lead back out to 15, 21-6. Almost a travel, and they are going to get her. Thought LaPel might have kept that foot. It was close.
Lexington's done a lot of nice things on defense, but their boxing out could be better. They're not – we're seeing Sulphur get good position consistently on the offensive glass, and if you want to make a comeback, you need to get defensive rebounds and try to make them transition baskets if you can, but it starts by getting the defensive rebound.
1:49 and counting to play in the first half. Here's Runyon, hit from behind and foul. LaPel a little too aggressive there. Be the third team foul on Lexington in this quarter.
Well, LaPel's 5'5", and it's hard to block a shot from behind when you're shorter. Runyon's about 4 inches taller.
First personal on LaPel, and a couple of free throws here coming up for Razy Runyon. Hits the first one.
She's had a nice game.
A rare sub for Sulphur. Sorry to cut you off. Jaden Lee, a freshman, back in the game.
Yeah, and again, their coach, the Sulphur coach, is not sure about his rotation right now, but he has to like his starting lineup so far.
Yeah.
And he told me, well, that starting lineup could change a lot. But right now, it looks like he might want to hold on to it for a bit.
Dixie in 4-3. Bank shot, Clackums! 22-9. So you're seeing Lexington get a little something going here on offense, as want to make sure to get that three-point sponsor, Hair with Care Salon in there for the second time. And now a foul on the other side. Runyon will get herself back to the line. But you're seeing Lexington just the last couple of minutes, they've got a few shots. See if they can carry that over into the second half.
That's a hard thing to carry over, though, banking in a three. But you're right. Things are starting to finally open up for Lexington. But
just to see it go in.
Yeah. But it's kind of opening up even more so for Sulphur. They're getting more comfortable in attacking the basket. Although the free throws, they missed the last couple.
That Sulphur unofficial student section behind us evidently was a lot of the boys' basketball team. They've headed down and they're getting over to the locker room to get ready for their ball game here coming up in just a little bit. Both free throws no good, so an empty trip for Sulphur as Lexington trying to cut into this a little bit. Got a long way to go here still, obviously. Here's Dixie in for three, hit the one a moment ago. Oh, that one looked good, but it rattles off. That one probably was a much better shot than the one before, but it didn't go in. That's kind of the cruel part of it. And a timeout taken here by Coach Todd.
The first they've taken. 30-second.
30-second with a $1:07 to play until halftime.
I thought Manuel could have drove in the basket there. I know she made the last three, I believe. Is that right?
There's Dixian hit the three.
Sorry.
Manuel had the drive down the baseline, nice up and under finish.
Dixian had the driving lane. Yeah, potentially. I know you make one, no matter how you make it, you bank it in, fine. You want to make another one, but what's interesting is Sulphur is contesting the threes. They are going out. They're giving them the initial pass, but they are closing hard on the threes. And I think the best strategy for Lexington will be pump fake on those threes and try to attack the basket.
Stick with us during the halftime. Obviously, Jordan and I will recap what we saw in the first half, get you ready for the third and fourth quarters of this one. And of course, we'll have the boys game later, double dip tonight to get the season started on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Also let you know throughout the evening what we got coming up on OSN, and we got a doozy in football coming up on Saturday. You may have heard. We'll talk about that a little more.
I will say
shortly.
That's going to start with the Good Coaches Show that we'll talk about. One of us gets to host it, so anyway.
Keith for three, Clackums. Hair with Care Salon, three ball for Courtney Keith has put together a pretty monstrous first half, all things considered. And that's a big shot for Sulphur to kind of kill some of this Lexington momentum.
Yeah, and just, we tried to have a clock, Josh, but it was too much for me. I'm a very limited guy because I handle the
You're doing it all over there.
Yeah. So we're down to 45 seconds. So we'll mention the time when it gets relevant here.
Yeah.
And I do not expect to see Lexington hold for a last shot.
last season we talked about that all year. We did games all season. Teams just weren't really interested in holding, and they're right on cue. Lapel drives and banks it in. Nice shot.
Well, it's not something you do when you're behind. We'll see if Sulphur tries to do it.
It just seems teams in general weren't really interested in it last year. We'll see if that changes in 2023. That's a travel. As moving the feet a little too much there is Jaden Lee. So with 23.2 on the second quarter clock, Lexington gets it back. Only down 14. Really feels like it could have been a lot worse. And have another possession here to make it even a little better.
Now, against the zone, you can hold for the last shot pretty easily. It's just a matter, do you want to? Again, since they're down 14, Lexington may not, but we're getting close to that. Looks like they actually probably will.
Under 10 seconds. This is Hardy with it, a senior back in. Starter, kick out Lapel for 3. Comes up short. Rebound is loose, and it'll go out of bounds with under a second, 0.9.
That's enough time for a catch and shoot.
Going to be tough from this spot. You have to really get it in and heave it.
That shot was a bit rushed, by the way.
And they're just going to get it in safely, make sure they don't turn it over. Probably smart, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. So things opened up a bit in that second quarter. It was 7-2 after one. It's 25-11 at the break. So obviously a lot more scoring in quarter two than quarter one. We're going to take a timeout here. When we get back to it, I will recap the first half, get ready for the second half. And, of course, like we said, talk about some of the stuff we have come up on OSN that we're really excited about here later on in the week. Don't go anywhere. Halftime, Sulphur leads at 25-11 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Jada Idolette working the camera for us tonight. And we're a couple minutes away from getting this second half started. Sulphur leads at 25-11 after 2. Jordan, like I said, it was 7-2 after 1. So the offense picked up a lot for both teams, frankly, obviously, in that second quarter. But as we move forward, in your mind, obviously Sulphur's in command. They're up 14. What has Lexington got to do to maybe try and work their way into it and make this thing interesting as we go into the fourth quarter and get late?
So I think the number one priority is how they attack the zone. And I think they got to find a way to stretch that zone. The obvious thing is to make some outside shots, but you don't want to fall in love with it, even though Sulphur will give it to you initially. I still believe the way Sulphur closes out, Lexington could have some drive and kick opportunities. You don't have to settle for a three, just look like it. Look like you want that three. And you might have a driving lane. That's how they scored one of their later baskets. Also, we need to see, for Lexington, will they be able to get Keely Givens back in?
Yeah.
She's a 6'1 senior. I thought she looked pretty good early in the game. I think she was sitting down with foul trouble.
Yeah, she's warming up. It's not an injury, nothing like that.
She can really help this team on the offensive glass. But again, you don't want to force it to her. Lexington's defense is trying to take away any pass around the basket. The second thing that Lexington needs to focus on, besides attacking the zone, is they need effective defense that will lead to transition. Now they extend their defense out. They do a lot of pressure, but they have to make sure they're also getting defensive rebounds, and they have to try to see if they can get defensive rebounds and live ball turnovers that can lead to transition opportunities. But that again is going to take some really good execution.
We're going to make sure we thank our third quarter sponsor, which is also our 3-point sponsor, which is Hair with Care Salon. Hair care for the whole family. Again, I want to stress we thank our sponsors so much, helping us bring you tonight's special presentation of Sulphur and Lexington on the Oklahoma Sports Network, our very first basketball broadcast of the season.
So happy we can do it on day one. That's the last
really cool.
Tuesday of November usually. I say usually.
Right after Thanksgiving, So here we go. Sulphur has it. They're not going left to right from our vantage point here. Just a little bit elevated from the court here at Lexington. First possession for the Lady Bulldogs of the gray and red variety is a 3-ball that's airballed by Keith. Keith had a very nice first half. Missed that shot there, though. Lapel in the corner. Kick out to Manuel. Manuel rocket pass over. Open 3-ball for Hardy. Clackums. Well, that was a pretty possession.
Yes, because they threw a really good pass. You're going to see this on our instant replay. Good one-handed pass to set up the 3-point shot.
Hair with Care Salon 3-ball. Cuts it down to 11. And that was one of their better possessions of the day right out of the locker room here. That shot doesn't go for a sheer. Got her own miss. Put back attempt, no. Rebound will be knocked out of bounds. It'll be last touched by Lexington. You saw Givens and Sample there almost kind of knocked away from each other. Same team.
Yeah, well, Lexington is the bigger team again when they have Bean in. I'm sorry, Givens.
Yeah, 14.
But they're getting beat in the paint too easily there on the defensive glass.
Sheer off the inbound. Now Jones in the corner goes down the baseline and some contact. And a foul here will go against Lexington.
That's Sample. I mean,
they are going to give her shots on this. They're going to say it's a shooting foul. Wasn't sure. So Mabry Jones will go to the line here.
It's Chloe Becker with a foul, and the problem she had is the way she swung her arm. That's going to get called a foul almost every time.
Yeah, Sample. They busted for the foul there, yeah.
Okay, they had 25 on there.
Yeah, I think it was left over.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
From the end of the first
That's what I thought it was, okay.
Split the trip there. Missed the first, make the second for Jones. Pushes it back out to 12-point lead at 26-14. So a little over a minute here into the second half on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Here's Givens down the lane. Up and under move. Got it poked away. Ended up getting her own miss, and it's a foul on Lexington. I wasn't really sure, honestly. It was kind of an odd-looking play.
So Mackenzie Manuel made a really good pass, but that's 3 on Givens. So
that's exactly why she was sitting down in that first half. Got those 2 quick ones.
I think the problem is she wanted to spin baseline. It's a good idea, but she just got too far in the basket and really had nowhere to go with it. And
wasn't really in position to try and get that ball back.
The foul afterwards.
Oh, what a play by Dixie to poke that away. Now she's got the fast break all over to the rim. Dixie, can she finish it? Rolls off. Great job running it down, though, by Sample. Then she gets her own miss and is fouled.
Well, this is one of the things I was talking about for Lexington, is trying to get steals, and that was just a really good job there for, I believe that was Dixian, using her long arm. She's 5'11", and seeing if you can get a transition opportunity after that. They didn't make the layup. That's a big problem, but they did get to the free throw line.
First one up and good for Sample at the Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate free throw line, charity stripe. You don't see a lot of snow cones and hot chocolate places. I kind of like that. It's year-round.
Exactly.
Both free throws are good for Sample. Cuts it down to a 10-point game. So Lexington continues to just kind of chip away a little by a little here. Hasn't been any big runs, but they've slivered it down to 10, still with obviously 14-plus minutes of game time to go.
And I should mention, by the way, I am not against eating snow cones in December.
I'm not a huge snow cone guy, but I will do it occasionally. The hot chocolate, though, I'm in. 3 ball at the top here, comes up short. We pulled in by Sample.
Now,
so
hot
another
chocolate.
Empty trip.
I'll drink that in July too.
Yeah,
I'm not picky.
You don't care about temp outside. Doesn't affect your food choices. Nice move by Manuel down the lane. Got a decent layup look there, but didn't finish it. So Sulphur gets it back as we close in about 2 minutes in here in the third quarter.
Yeah, she began her ascent to the basket too soon.
That's a travel. Nice defense there. Somebody, I couldn't tell who, got the hand in on Jaden Lee and forced her to stumble a little in a travel.
So it was a good idea on the drive there by Manuel, previous possession, but again, just the execution. She picks up her dribble too soon. And that's just where you got it. That's where all the practice, you start to develop better habits after you practice more and more. And again, it's first game of the season, so you're going to see more mistakes like that.
Lapel back in the game, for Lexington, replacing Hardy.
These teams have been practicing a lot, but you need the games to know what to do there. Wow.
Clackham's and one. Lapel put the 3, got closed out a little too aggressively, and then it went down anyway. It's down to 7, and we got a free throw coming. That was a textbook and one as Runyon just closed out too aggressively.
We got the 3-point sponsor.
Hair Care Salon.
And the free throw sponsor.
Little double dip. The Bean family. Hot chocolate frozen cones. So
now look at what the score is now. Lexington is clawing their way back.
Yeah. The offense has found it a little bit. Free throw's good. 4-point play for Addison Lapel. This thing's down to 6.
Well, I think the defense for Lexington has found it even more. So far, only 2 points for Sulphur this half.
Lead was as big as 17, if my memory serves me correctly. Turnaround shot for Keith. That won't go. Good defense. And Lexington's got it going back the way, still down just 6. Lapel, kick out, open 3 for Dixian. That one rolled off. Was a good look, but it didn't fall, so it'll stay at 6 for now.
I agree, because that was a driving kick. I would live with that look.
Yeah. So Atkinson brings it up for Sulphur. They have just 1 point here in this third quarter.
All right,
long pass to Runyon. She'll fire a 3. Too much. Airballed it long. Diving after it's a couple of players. It'll go out of bounds. And I'm not sure the call here. I'm not sure if it's just an out-of-bounds play or if it was a foul. I think they're just saying it's out of bounds.
Well, being the first game of the season, you might see the teams aren't sharp in many different ways, but the hustle will still be there. You don't need a lot of warm-up for that to play hard, and we're seeing it right now.
We almost can see them getting more comfortable as it goes along, too. Every possession has gotten a little better as we've gone on. There's a turnover there. Fast break here for Lexington, trying to cut it to 4. Manuel to the rim, can't finish. Did a good job to get there, but couldn't finish it off. Now fast break the other way, running underneath to Keith. Whoa. Bodies everywhere. That was physicality.
You know, for some girls, this is their football. They don't have football, so they do that. Oh, and I got to say, Mackenzie Manuel, I feel bad. She made a great steal, just did a great job anticipating a post-entry pass from the offside, and then was able to go coast to coast, just couldn't make the layup, and that's kind of been the story for Lexington. They missed when they do things right, they can't convert.
Mm-hmm. So checking out is Keith into the game for Sulphur, I think for the first time. It's number 33, Haley Beasley, a 5'10" freshman getting some run here, and obviously what is her first high school game as a freshman. Atkinson, rocket pass out to Runyon, pump fake. Right-hand shot won't go. Rebound Beasley. There's the freshman making an immediate impact.
And that's because Runyon drew a crowd when she attacked the basket.
So lead back to 8. Sample pump fakes the pass. Underhand pass to Manuel. Dishes it over to Dixian. To the top, Hardy, and they'll reset. 4:25 to play in the third. Hardy left side, Dixian. Guarded closely by Peyton Callan, also just into the game. She is a senior for Sulphur off the bench. Lapel down the lane, right-hand shot, no. Rebound, Dixian, put-back attempt. That won't roll home. It's still loose, another opportunity. Lapel's got it. Second, third chance points opportunity here for Lexington. I have an official's timeout as it looks like Lapel's maybe bleeding a little bit on the hand.
Where's she going?
I think she was starting to run back to the locker room, maybe.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was like, going to head to the bench first? Yep, she's going to head to the locker. That's what the locker's on the other side.
She's like, somebody needs to come with me. I can't do this myself. So
yeah,
they'll run back. They'll get her patched up, get her back in as soon as they can. 4:01 to play in the third.
So Landry Bean will come in.
Also back in for Lexington is Charlie Moore.
I have to say, the Lexington's ball movement against the zone has been much better this half.
Yes.
Let's see if they can continue it.
Here's Hardy, dish out in the corner to Manuel. She'll go down the baseline, right-hand floater. That won't roll home. A lot of contact there, but she gets her own miss. Put-back attempt shot here won't fall. Now Manuel again. That won't roll home. Another offensive rebound, and now it's on the floor. Bodies everywhere again. We're going to have a tie-up, and jump ball will favor the home team. So Lexington's going to keep it after all that.
Now this Mackenzie Manuel, Josh, is only a sophomore, but boy, she is tough around the basket. She will move you if she wants to.
Inbound to Hardy, fires a three in the corner, too much. Rebound pulled in by Runyon, and she will run. Down the floor here, right-hand floater comes up short, trying to get her own miss, but there's Manuel again. Johnny on the spot comes up with it. Fast break for Lexington now. It's loose, poked away from behind, and Shears got it. Pace has picked up quite a bit here. Atkinson to Runyon in the corner. She'll fire from three. Clackums. That's a big shot. It was 6 points not that long ago, and now it's back out to 11. Hare with Care-Salon, three ball makes an 11-point lead. 3:05 to go in the third.
I think Lexington's a bit out of control right now in offense.
That's a bad turnover. Manuel just sailed it over Sample. They had wiggled it down to 6, but a couple of missed opportunities on offense have led to Sulphur having some chances back the other way. Now the lead's back out to double figures. Atkinson almost lost it. Hardy's all over her. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover. Good defense by Hardy.
Yeah, this is the type of defense that I knew Jacoby Couch, the girls' head coach, would bring to Lexington from his Middale coaching days. Just just believe that ball is yours. You have to be smart in how you go get it, but that's exactly what Jordan Hardy did there.
2:42 and counting to play in the third. Dixian to the top here. Nice ball moving out to Sample for three. Back iron, no, but that looked good. We had the perfect vantage point for that. It was right on line. It's a little too powerful.
Samples need to follow her shot there.
Yeah.
Good trap.
Came right back to her. Runyon on the other side. Scoop layup attempt. That won't roll home. Rebound is knocked out of bounds. That should. Oh, it'll stay down here. I thought it was last touched by Sulphur, but it'll stay at this end.
Well, I said good trap, but it wasn't good. It was a good idea to trap. It wasn't well executed. I mean, when you trap Runyon, she's really a good ball handler. She's really quick with the ball. You have to make sure you're covering a lot of ground in how you trap.
So we got a timeout here taken. It is a full timeout. And with 2:20 to go in the third, Sulphur leads it 31-20. Don't go anywhere. Right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Tip-off of the 2023-2024 high school basketball season here on OSN. 2:20 to go in the third. Sulphur Lady Bulldogs lead the Lexington Lady Bulldogs It's been a fun game, especially in the second half. Pass is going to go knocked out of bounds. I'm going to say Beasley's the one who touched it last. So a turnover here by Sulphur right out of the gates.
Sulphur ran a good baseline out of bounds play, but it was still really crowded, and so they tried to force a pass that wasn't there. Lexington did a good job just taking away the paint.
So back the other way. Here's Hardy with it. Feeds over to Sample in the corner. Dixon hit that 3-ball earlier. Lapel back on the bench, by the way, for Lexington, ready to come back in if they need her. Dixon, nice ball move in the corner to Sample. Sample to Dixon on the left wing. To the top, Hardy. Bounce pass and got bumped there was Bean. Gets it back out to Hardy. Ball. A couple of Sulphur defenders diving after it. Dixon thought about it. Step puts on the floor. Feeds it back off to Hardy. Left side open. 3 for Sample. Comes up short. But ends up getting her own rebound. Came right back out to her. Now down the lane. Sample right hand floater. Banked it in.
What a shot.
Tough finish. And back inside double digits at 9. It's 31-22. 1:28 to go in the third.
She split 2 defenders before she threw up that granny-style one-handed shot there.
Long 2 for Runyon doesn't fall. The rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll be back over to Lexington. So a quick possession there for Sulphur.
Now, Lexington had a really good half-court possession there. And they're starting to get comfortable against that zone. They just have to continue to be patient.
Here's Bean putting on the floor. Jump step. Tough finish, but couldn't quite get it to fall. And Sulphur gets it back, still leading by 9 with 1:13 and counting to go here in the third.
Now, that may have appeared impatient by Bean, but I think she had a good shot there. She's got to make it.
Runyon for 3, too much. Rebound is loose. Goes out of bounds, and it'll stay, or go over, I should say, to Lexington again. So Sulphur some missed chances to try and get this thing back out a little. Meanwhile, Lapel back in, replacing Hardy. Curious to see the legs, too, as we get into the fourth quarter. First game of the season. Yep. Obviously, Sulphur has played largely the same players the vast majority of this game, where Lexington has subbed a lot more. You see if that favors them.
Well, one player who should have her legs is Keely Givens. We'll see when she comes back for Lexington.
Here's Charlie Moore with it. Pass to Sample in the corner. 45 seconds to go in the third. Moore, open 3 for Bean. Clackums! Landry Bean hits the 3-ball. The hair with care salon 3-pointer, and it's back down to 6. Half minute to play in the third. Atkinson, rocket passer, Runyon. What a find, but couldn't finish. It's loose, ends up in the hands of Lapel. Lexington starts the break. Here's Dixon. They got plenty of time, 15 seconds, and they'll reset. Could get this down to one possession potentially here.
You got to say, Sulphur is having the same struggles on that basket as Lexington did in the first half.
Dixon for 3, won't fall. Rebound, though, Lapel. It's on the floor, and it's a travel. So with 3.7, a travel, and it'll go back over to Sulphur.
Lapel should have kicked that ball out, but she wasn't really aware of the clock. It's down to 3
great
7
rebound,
cents.
yeah. So 3 seconds. I got to go quick. Runyon will fire. This would count. Ooh, off the front of the rim. Not a bad try at it. That's going to end the third quarter. This game got very interesting now, didn't it? We go to the fourth. Sulphur leads at 31-25. Going to be a fun finish coming up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jada Idolette working the camera for us.
Doing a great job.
Doing a great job. First game of the year. We're getting off on the right foot. A 6-point game as you go to the fourth here in Lexington. Keith trapped in the corner for the Lady Bulldogs of Sulphur, who have the lead for the moment. And a whistle and a foul here is going to send Razy Runyon to the free throw line.
Now look at the way they split the trap. Lexington had it. You really love the trap there, but you cannot let the trap get split if you want to make it work. And that will lead to free throws for Sulphur.
Lexington won that second quarter 14-6 to slice this down to a 6-point game here in the fourth quarter. Obviously, at one point it felt like Sulphur was going to run away. They led this thing 19-2. Both free throws no good. An empty trip at the line there, but Coach Couch's guys have battled, kept in it. Now down just 6. We start the fourth.
Sulphur's been ice cold this second
3
half.
for Charlie Moore. Too much. Rebound is loose. Saved by Sample. Second chance again. Boy, Lexington's getting themselves lots of second chance points here. 3-ball. Clackums! Landry Bean drops it down. It's a 3-point game.
They're just out hustling Sulphur right now, and that's how they got that second 3-point attempt.
Like we said, Sulphur's played a lot of the same players the whole game. You wonder if that has any factor right now. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. It's been a long time since we've had a one-possession game.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Couch of Lexington likes how his team's playing so much. He's not even thinking about going back to Givens right now. We'll see if that changes with her with 3 fouls. But you can bring a player back in with 3 fouls at this point if you want.
Oh, for sure.
I think he just likes this lineup.
Yeah, they've cut this big deficit down. Big comeback here potential. Still with 7 minutes to play. Jones fires it to Shear on the elbow. Shear pulls up from the block. Shot is blocked, but got some arm on there too to Sample. Yeah, that'll send Shear to the line.
Sample, it may have been her right hand, even though she blocked the shot with her left hand. That led to just too much contact in the ref's eyes. Another Bean family. By the way, of course, you know there's a relationship there to Landry Bean.
Free throw no good. Boy, Sulphur's missed a lot of free throws.
Yes.
That's also hurting them.
Like I said, they've just been ice cold this half. But credit Lexington. I think they have ratcheted up the effort level too.
That free throw does go, so a split trip gets it back out to 2 possessions at 32-28. By the way, that was the 3rd foul on Sample. She comes out, replaced by Manuel for the moment, 6:48 to go. See how long she stays over there. Here's Bean with it.
It looks like, and I didn't catch when they made this change, but Sulphur's going with a man. They played zone almost the entire game.
Manuel on the left wing here, guarded by Keith. Rocket pass underneath, had the right idea, but didn't. That was a little high and wide, and it's picked off by Atkinson. Keith, the other side, turn around, and boy, she's fouled hard and really hit her face on the court. Hopefully she's all right.
Keith did not see Landry Bean come in, and so she just went into her, and, you can't – it's a hard foul to avoid if you're Landry Bean.
Boy, Courtney Keith is taking a bit of a beating in this game.
So
She's had a couple of hard falls.
Keith was both fortunate and not so fortunate. Fortunate she got to a foul. She's going to have 2 free throws, but that was a hard foul to take.
So she'll go to the line. Second foul called on Bean. 13 foul already here in this fourth quarter. So only 2 more and they're in the bonus. Although if Sulphur doesn't make that free throw, it's not going to matter. First one no good. And here comes Givens back in the game now, replacing Moore.
I spoke a little too early the last time Sulphur had the ball. I'm sorry, when Lexington had the ball, saying that Sulphur switched to a man. It may have been just a matchup zone, so I'll have to get a better look at it here in a moment.
Both free throws no good, but Shear gets the rebound off a free throw, buys him another chance. Keith down the lane, kick out, open 3 for Atkinson. That won't roll in. Rebound pulled in by Bean. Boy, that would have been a gut punch 3-ball if that had fallen, but it didn't. And Lexington's got it back down 4. Here's Givens. Rocket pass to Dixie and did a good job just to handle it. Manuel, and the pass. Try to get it underneath to Givens and just sailed it.
Manuel, the sophomore, waited too long and then threw the pass too high. And that was a defensive breakdown by Sulphur because Givens was wide open for 2 or 3 seconds.
Under 6 minutes now to play. Mabry Jones is a long 2. It won't go. Rebound Givens. And Lexington's got it going back to the way, down 4. Feels like they still have all the momentum right now. Sulphur just trying to hang on to get their season off to a 1-0 start. Here's Dixie in, pulls up from just outside the block, won't go. Manuel, there she is again on the offensive glass. And she's tied up. Somehow, no tie-up, no travel. Manuel, turnaround floater. That'll roll in! What a play, what a sequence, and it's down to 2.
Look at her. Look at this replay here. I mean, she just plays so hard.
Just beast mode.
Yeah.
Out of control sometimes. Keith underneath is bumped and fouled, and back to the line goes Courtney Keith, which Sulphur is doing very well. They're getting to the line. They're just not making their free throws. 5:16 to go. Back to that, the beans, Mr. Yeti, snow cones, and hot chocolate cherry stripe.
We also want to thank Clark's Floors for being our fourth quarter sponsor.
Clark's Floors and more. As the first free throw is good for Keith. Locally owned and operated for 27 years. Your one-stop shop for home improvement, specializing in floors. Back in comes Sample, replacing Dixian.
She's also got 3 fouls.
5:16 to go. Keith misses the second. Rebound, though, is ran down by Runyon. Actually, they're going to say it went out of bounds. Runyon did run it down, but either her foot or the ball touched the baseline, and it'll go back over to Lexington down 3.
So we got 5:15 to go in this game. And for Lexington, they have not Sulphur's not really defended Givens in the post like they were earlier this game. So she might be open if they work the ball around. Instead, they go for the tie.
3, and it rattles out. Rebound, though, Givens, and it's poked away by Jones. What a play by Mabry Jones. Now it's on the deck again. Bodies everywhere. And we have whistles and a tie-up. The arrow will keep it at this end with the home team.
Givens made a common mistake when you're one of the bigger players out there. You get the offensive rebound. You want to get a better shot, understandably, but she put the ball on the floor. And the smaller defender will always look to take the ball away as soon as you put the ball on the floor.
Oh, boy, Sample could have fed it to Hardy in the corner, but thought about it. Now Manuel's got it for the tie. Air ball long. Rebound knocked out of bounds. And it'll go over to Sulphur.
Not a bad shot. Of course, you're down 3, so you're thinking 3. Perhaps. I know it's early. It's kind of early to do that, but I'm just saying it's in your head. You're down 3. Let's go for the tie. Let's get the crowd really going here.
Feels like every possession for Lexington, they're getting 2-3 looks at a minimum.
Yeah.
Just dominating the offensive glass right now. Atkinson, rocket pass. He poked away by Givens. Lapel scoops it. Fast break up to Manuel. Can't she stay in control? To the rim, up and under move. That was pretty. It's down to 1.
This Manuel player.
Got a lot to like.
Yeah.
It's a sophomore. Raw around the edges, but doing a lot of good things too. 1-point game. Atkinson pass underneath to Runyon. Great find. It doesn't go, but Givens fouled her. That's going to be 4 on Givens. I'm pretty sure that's who the foul was on. We'll wait till we get official. But
she did foul her. If it's not on her, she got fortunate.
Yeah,
it is. She
kind
of had some body contact with her right hand. She tried to block with the left. Looks like she will come out.
So that's 4 and the 15 foul, too. So Sulphur's in the bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, Sulphur's been doing a good job making that extra pass to get in the paint, and unfortunately for Givens, she just rotated a bit late. Need to find a way to close that gap there.
Runyon makes them both. So a rare 2-for-2 trip to the line for Sulphur. That's kind of evaded them tonight, but the lead's back to 3. Lapel right to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound, though, again. Another offensive board. Sample pump fake set to the left. Feed Lapel. This would tie it. Doesn't go. Rebound Atkinson.
That was a bit too eager of a shot.
Midway point of the 4th. Sulphur clinging to a 3-point lead. In the corner, Runyon open look at a 3. Clackums. That's a big shot by Razy Runyon, and it pushes it back out to 6. Boy, Runyon, the senior, those 2 big free throws and then that 3 right there.
You knew it's a matter of time. Sulphur, they showed how good they are in the first half. They're going to start in shots eventually.
Runyon punches that out of bounds, so it'll stay at this end. 3:40 to go. So they had it wiggled down to 1, but Sulphur responds to get it back out to 6. Now how does Lexington answer over the final 3:40? Back in the game comes Bean.
Well,
replaces Hardy.
Don't try to make 2 threes right away. That's important
time
for Lexington.
You got time, yeah.
Keep passing the ball around.
There's Bean with it in the corner to Sample. Sample down the baseline here, kind of trapped. Good job to get rid of it. Out to Lapel. Lapel spin move, almost lost it, almost traveled. Now Bean open looking at 3, comes up short. Right on line, but not quite enough juice.
Yep. That was a good
Sulphur
look.
Gets it back.
That was the right shot. Just couldn't make it. Now we'll see what Sulphur if they take some time off. No,
Runyon in the same spot for 3. Clackums again! Razy Runyon taking over in the 4th.
Why try to run clock when you got Razy Runyon now heating up?
An 8-0 run just from Runyon alone, and the lead suddenly is back out to 9 with 3:08 to go. I didn't see. Was this a full timeout, Jordan?
No. I would
30
say
seconds.
no. The players
We'll stay
aren't.
here.
I don't look at the refs. I look at are the players sitting down
That's
the
a
bench
good
or
call.
not.
That's a good call. So 3:08 to go. Razy Runyon, the 5'9 senior, done some nice things tonight throughout the game, but has taken over the last couple of minutes. 2 free throws and 2 3-pointers. 8 quick points, all from her, and the lead's back out to 9.
Well, I think for Lexington, and this happens with the ebbs and flows of a game, their defense has now started to break down some. And first of all, Sulphur did it by passing the ball around and getting some open shots in the paint. That's how they got fouls. That's how they drew the 4th foul on Keely Givens. And then you're leaving Runyon open because you're trying to overcompensate. So Lexington's defense has been really good for the most part, but even throughout a 32-minute game, you're going to have breakdowns, and unfortunately they've had one here, and that's how Sulphur's been able to extend their lead again.
So as we hit 3 minutes to play, does Lexington have one last push in them? And that's not going to help. Manuel turns it over. Atkinson scoops it up, starts to break, feed to Runyon, and she can't quite finish. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at this end, though, with Sulphur. Back in for Lexington comes number 11. That's Natalie Dixian replacing Manuel.
Yeah, Manuel's out of control there. You need precision on your possessions right now for Lexington.
Get an older player in there. Dixian, a senior. Pass deflected off the inbound by Sample, but ends up back in the hands of Jones. She can't finish. Now Keith fighting for it to go out of bounds and stay again at this end with Sulphur.
I missed the player for Lexington, but she deflected the inbounds pass.
Sample, I think.
And didn't realize where the ball was, so they had a chance at that steal.
Inbound here looking for Atkinson. Lapel poked it away, but Atkinson able to run it down. He wondered if Sulphur, as I say that, Lapel punches it out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. You wonder, does Sulphur try to, slow play these possessions a bit, milk some clock?
Well, you can't do that if they're not going to call fouls on those. And I'm not saying they should have, but those were borderline fouls that Lexington got away with.
The Lady Bulldogs are going to be aggressive, and simply Sulphur hasn't been good enough at the line to not be. And there it is. Lapel pokes it away. Fast break the other direction. Lapel to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound is loose. Ends up in the hands of Moore. Not sure that's a pass or shot. Ends up in the hands of Lapel, and it's knocked out of bounds. Will stay at this end. That was frantic.
Well, both teams have had their missed layups, but, for Lexington, you can't afford it right now. Sulphur can to some extent, and that was a great defensive play. You need to make those defensive plays, but you got to finish.
Nice ball movement here back out to Sample. Round the horn to Lapel for 3. Oh, rattles in and out. Rebound, though. Bean, another opportunity for Lexington. They continue to dominate the offensive glass. And now Atkinson gets called for a foul. That's only the first one on Sulphur. They can be aggressive and get away with it right now.
Yeah, it's only the first foul on Atkinson, too.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad idea for Sulphur to try to do that.
2:12 to play.
That was not on purpose, though, Josh. She didn't like that call, but still it's –
Yeah. You can gamble, though.
Yeah.
Bean in the corner gives it back to Dixian. Lexington's got to get points and in a hurry right now. 2:05 left. Sample feeds it out to Bean to the top. Lapel, right side, Dixian for 3. Clock'ems. Boy, that's what you needed. That's what you needed. It's down to 6 under 2 minutes to go. Hare with Care Salon 3-pointer. Back to the way comes Jones. Feeds off to Keith. Keith now Runyon. Runyon on the floor. Nice ball movement to Shear underneath. It's blocked by Sample, but somehow ends up back in the hands of Shear after all that. And Coach Todd, probably a smart timeout here with 1:39, saying, hold on, let's get our breath. So with a $1:39 to go, 41-35, and Sulphur will keep the possession here after this full timeout. Get your breath. 99 seconds to play. We'll take a timeout here in the Oklahoma Sports Network. Sulphur leading by 6.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Back in the Oklahoma Sports Network, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. Fun way to get the season started here with this girls matchup between Lexington and Sulphur. Been a game that's been led by Sulphur pretty much wire to wire. But, boy, the Lady Bulldogs of Lexington have made it interesting late. They've slivered it down to 6, was as close as 1. And Sulphur has it back here up by 6. Off the inbound, Atkinson to the rim, can't finish. Boy, that was a great lane there for her and a good idea, but just didn't finish it off. Now 90 seconds to go. Lexington's got it back. Open 3 in the corner for Lapel. Won't go. Rebound Atkinson. Boy, that would have cut it back down to 1 score and had this place rocking. But a turnover. Errant pass, and Sample has it back again. Sample right-hand shot. That won't roll in. But somehow the rebound is still loose. Givens on the floor has it, and they're going to say she's out of bounds and back over to Sulphur. Man.
Well, there's a lot of things I could point out. What stands out to me now, Lexington has shot a couple threes from that left corner that where they were just too close to the baseline, and that's not really a good look. You don't want to be right by the baseline. You need to be a couple feet from it minimum. And so they missed it badly off the side of the backboard.
Well, the opportunities have certainly been there for Lexington down the fourth quarter. Open looks from deep to try and really get a lot of momentum back on their side. They just haven't been able to hit them. Atkinson being pressured. It's got to be getting close to 10 seconds. She just gets it across. Under a minute now to play. From behind Lapel, that's going to be a foul. That's going to put Runyon, who's really the only player who's shown an ability to hit her free throws consistently tonight. So not the player you want if you're Lexington right now at the line.
That's a good foul by Lapel. You got to take those chances.
For sure.
She just couldn't get a clean swipe at the ball. But we don't have a shot clock yet, Josh. I think we're getting closer and closer.
First one rolls home.
Free throw rolls in, but it doesn't really matter right now. The way Lexington plays defense, they're not going to let you just pass the ball around.
Mm-hmm. One of these days we'll have the shot clock in high school hoops in Oklahoma. Yep. One of these days.
I think it will be soon. That's all I'll say.
Second one no good, but she does get the lead out to 3 scores. Nice ball move to Sample. Easy lane. Puts it down. It's back down to 5. And a timeout taken by Coach Couch.
Okay, this is where things are going to get interesting here.
With 51.8 to go. It is a full timeout, but we can stick through it so you can make your point.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. So for Coach Couch, and this is true for any coach, because in high school and college, you can call a timeout after your team scores. You can't do that in the NBA. And what that enables you to do, sometimes I wish when I watch a game you couldn't do that. But as a former coach, I also like the fact that you can call a timeout and set up a good full-court defense. And like I said, even though there's no shot clock, Sulphur cannot just pass the ball around.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to. Lexington's going to force them to do something. The only question is, will that something be good for Sulphur or not? And so I'll be interested to see what type of full-court press we see. But you would like to, if you're Lexington, get a really good trap on the pass or deny the pass.
You've got enough time here, too, with 51.8 that you can play defense and try to maybe get a 10-second violation in the backcourt. You don't have to – you're not totally under the gun just yet. You're close, but you're not totally there just yet. So we'll see how this goes.
You're definitely right that they don't need to foul on purpose right now for the sake of stopping the clock. They will get close. So this is going to be a good test for Sulphur because Lexington has been able to turn up the defensive level a lot this half.
So here we go. Jones will do the inbound for Sulphur. Gets it into Atkinson, who does a good job to get up the floor and get across half court. Triple team, feeds over to Runyon. Runyon underneath to Keith. It's poked loose. It's on the floor, and Keith gets bludgeoned to the ground. And it'll go out of bounds and stay at this end. So no fouls here. It's just going to stay with Sulphur.
Lexington almost had a chance there.
Yeah.
I think Sulphur is playing to Lexington's hands when they try to go inside like that. I would not, because when they make that pass into the low post, Lexington has a player ready to go meet that player, or the player for Sulphur.
I think Keith has been knocked to the ground like hard 10 times in this game. Players are flying everywhere, and then meanwhile the inbound pass is stolen. 35 seconds. Lexington's got the other way. Bean gets shoved from behind.
Well,
that's a definite foul.
Do you think about an intentional foul? That looked a little blatant. I'm not saying it should be called, but sometimes you got to think about what's your first reaction when you see that. Mine was, that looked like it was a blatant push in the back. They're not going to call it. I'm not saying they should, but that could have been huge if they did.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. So 35 seconds, and Lexington has it back. Gets into Givens in the corner. Got to move a little quick here. Clock's not running. Open three for Sample in the corner. Clock comes! It's a 2-point game. Under 30 seconds, they'll get it into Jones. You got to foul him, put him at the line. Jones underneath to Keith. Keith's going to shoot it. This is a bit ill-advised, but it goes in anyway. Back to 4. 15 seconds left. Lapel brings it down. 3 ball here. Back iron, no. Rebound, Shear. And with under 10 seconds, Sulphur's looking good now. Boy, what a response after that huge 3 by Sample. Cut it to 2. Wow.
We're down to 7 6/10 of a second, folks. And so it's going to be tough for Lexington to pull out. But for one moment, you thought they may have their chance, because that was not a gimme shot by Courtney Keith. But give her credit, she had the guts to take it. Because, again, you can't pass the ball around that easily.
First free throw for Atkinson rolls home at the Mr. Yeti's frozen snow cones and hot chocolate cherry stripe.
So Courtney Keith, the Sulphur, she could have just kept dribbling the ball around. She decided not to, made a good call.
Second one no good, but time of the essence. Sample will fire a 3 here, won't go. Clock's going to run out. And Sulphur survives. They let it wire to wire, but that doesn't really tell the whole story, as Lexington made it very interesting late. But in the end, the Lady Bulldogs that were wearing gray find a way to get the job done and win it 45-40. That was a fun way to start the year, Jordan. Obviously, Lexington really battled back. It was 19-2. It felt like this game was going to be out of hand. We were going to have to start telling some stories in the second half, but it got very interesting late. But Sulphur just made just enough buckets down the stretch to kind of just fend them off.
Yeah, I'll give a lot of credit to Sulphur for the way they really were able to make a good run on offense.
Yeah.
And after a good run for Lexington, get within 1 point, I think, early in the fourth quarter. And I give credit again for Sulphur for just hanging in there, not changing what they did. They stick with what they do well, and they were able to have some good ball movement, and including the very clutch put-away basket there by Courtney Keith. And that was a very fun game. I'm glad basketball's here.
Absolutely. Wild ball game. In the end, Sulphur gets it done. They get their season off to a 1-0 start. All right, we're going to have the boys game coming up for you here in about 15-ish minutes or so. Don't go anywhere, obviously. Same stream, nothing crazy like that. Hang tight. Jordan and I are going to use the bathroom, collect our thoughts for a moment, and then we'll be back with you. Get ready for the second game of our doubleheader. Sulphur and Lexington on the boys' side coming up in just a little bit right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back in Lexington. Hope everybody got their affairs in order after a great first game. The girls from Sulphur, the Lady Bulldogs, win it 45-40 over Lexington to get the season started here in the Oklahoma Sports Network. Now we're getting ready for the boys' game, getting you ready here for Sulphur and Lexington on the boys' side of things. Kind of similar to the girls' game. We're going in kind of not really sure what to expect tonight. 4A, 3A, obviously new teams and everything like that. We're excited to get this thing going here. We'll have the lineups for you here in just a moment. We'll get the action started in the second game of our doubleheader. Starting lineups first for the visiting Sulphur Bulldogs, coached by Grant Bates. Number 0 is Devin Willis. He's a 6'1" junior. Number 1, Bridge Barrett, a 6' even sophomore. Number 2 is Briar Davenport, 5'10" sophomore. Number 5, Colton Cole, a 6'3" sophomore. And then rounding it out, number 25, Marcus Smith, a 6'2" senior. For Lexington, the hometown squad, Tyler Thetford, the head coach. Number 0 is Zeke Falkenberry. He's a 6'1" senior. Number 1, Colton Mixon, 5'10" junior. His older brother, number 3, Ty Mixon, the 6'2" senior. Number 20 is Drew Deerking. He's a 6'1" senior. And then finishing it up, number 32, Skylar Rollins, the 6'3" senior. So, Jordan, obviously these are new teams for us, but what are some thoughts here going into this matchup, 4A, 3A? And how do you kind of see, or what are you watching for, I guess, the early part of this game that maybe will give you an idea of how it's going to go?
So the interesting thing about this game is that these teams are not very familiar with each other. I talked about this in front of the girls' game, but the difference here is in the girls' game, you have your team a little bit longer for girls because you don't have that sport called football that you, as a boys coach, boys basketball, you're waiting on football to end.
Yeah, especially these smaller classes.
Yeah. And for Sulphur, that was the weekend before Thanksgiving. I think Lexington was a week earlier. And so also the girls coaches, I didn't mention this during the girls game, but they actually were able to trade scrimmage videos. These boys teams have not done anything like that. So the players are new to each other as far as this year goes, because both teams have a lot of football players that have just started basketball in the last couple weeks. And then the teams, they're not familiar with each other at all. They didn't play last year. They got no film. So both teams are going to kind of go into this blind. And it'll be interesting to see, are they able to adjust, and will we have another situation where the defense is ahead of the offense?
Yeah, right.
Like we had in the girls' game.
Lexington's certainly the much older of these two teams. Look at their lineup, 4 seniors, 1 junior. Meanwhile, Sulphur's got a couple of 3 sophomores actually starting in their starting 5, 1 senior and a junior. So from that standpoint, certainly Lexington, the hometown team, is the older team, maybe a little more seasoned. We'll see if that plays any factor as we get into things here.
I haven't talked with both coaches. I can concur. Lexington is the more experienced team as far as returning rotation players. We'll see if that matters.
Opening tip won by Sulphur. That was Devin Willis did the tip. He's only 6'1". They have some bigger players in their starting 5, but they went with him for the opening tip, and he wins it. And Sulphur, the road team, in the road red with black numbers and letters. Lexington in the home whites with black numbers and letters. Glad to be with us on a Tuesday night in Lexington, Oklahoma. Driving the baseline here, not able to finish, was Briar Davenport. So an empty first trip for Sulphur. Back to the way, here comes Lexington. Scoop pass knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at this end as Falkenberry went down the baseline, try to make something happen. Nothing there.
Which you will see. You'll see Zeke Falkenberry attack the basket frequently this game. But in that case, I think he picked up his dribble too soon and got kind of fortunate he could throw it out of bounds off of Sulphur, because that could have been a turnover.
Long inbound to Falkenberry, and he's able to control it.
Both teams showing a man defense early on.
Left-hand pass to Colt Mixon. He's the younger of the 2 Mixons out there for Lexington, and a Clackamas 3 ball for Drew Deerking. Gets the scoring started, and the home team on the board first as a Hair and Care Salon 3-pointer makes it 3-0 Lexington. Driving the lane here is Willis. Tough finish at the rim, puts it home, and Sulphur's on the board. Back to the way, here comes the hometown Lexington Bulldogs. Step back 3 for Falkenberry, almost banked it home, didn't go. Rebound pulled in by Marcus Smith. He'll start the break for Sulphur. And he just mishandled that one. It's picked up here by Ty Mixon. Down the right side, couldn't finish. Willis skies for the rebound, and a very athletic and heads-up play to throw it off the leg of Deer King to flip the possession, or keep it, I should say, with Sulphur.
This is what I mean by defense being out of the offense.
Yeah.
You see Sulphur with a bad turnover, and Lexington just couldn't finish. They couldn't get a good look at all. It looked really awkward, in fact. So, yeah, buckle up. Again, we could be seeing a lot of defensive domination early on.
Kick out, open 3 ball here for Bridge. Barrett Clackums.
On the other hand,
second time a hair with care salon 3 ball. Hair care for the whole family. So they're getting some early work out here in game 2.
Yeah, like
each team with a 3 ball.
On the other hand, like you said, each team made a 3. So
Colt Mixon down the right side from the block, and a high floater kiss off the glass, tied up 5-5. Tell you what, some nice shot making here in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, he had a defender right on him too. So that's a good skill to have when you can finish in traffic like that.
Step back 3 ball. Barrett Clackums again. Boy, this sophomore for Sulphur, Bridge Bear, with a couple of nice looking triples. Back the other way, here's Falconberry.
Well, everything I said about the defense being ahead of the offense quickly looked bad. That was
there we go again. Ty Mixon with a long 2. Both these teams are torching the nets here in the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, again, I make that comment about the offense is struggling, and then all of a sudden the number ones, Barrett and Mixon, make
Here's
plays.
Barrett down the lane, and he's blocked by Rollins, but not cleanly, and a foul, first foul here of the night will go against Skylar Rollins, the big man for Lexington. That'll send Bridge Barrett to the Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate, the Beans charity stripe. The Bean family with Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Drinks wish you a successful season. First free throw for Barrett is up and good. If you weren't with us for the girls' game, we talked about it then, but to reiterate, the foul system completely different this year in high school basketball. There is no more single bonus, double bonus. It's 5 fouls each quarter, puts you in the bonus. The 1-and-1 is completely gone. There is no 1-and-1s anymore, so a very different wrinkle and look to the high school basketball season this year. Going to be fascinating to see how that impacts games as we go along. Here's a 3 ball for the younger of the 2 Mixons. That one doesn't go. Rebound is tipped out and will stay at this end. I thought that was last touched by Lexington, but nobody's arguing it, so it'll stay at this end.
It's a very good 2-man game between Falconberry and Mixon. They'll like the way Mixon filled the spot that Falconberry had when he started his drive.
5:07 to play in the first. 3 ball in the corner for Ty Mixon. Doesn't come up, doesn't go down. Willis the rebound, start the break. Devin Willis, nice Euro step and puts it in. That was pretty. Devin Willis with a nice finish. Tell you what, we're a little over 3 minutes in. Yeah, you take a look at that on the instant replay. Both these teams have got some dudes. Now goes out of bounds, and a turnover gives it back over to Sulphur.
Now, you're right, Josh. We've seen some really good offensive skills so far. Players who know what to do around the basket when they have a chance to get to the paint. Seeing a 1-3-1 defense by Lexington here.
Davenport gets to Willis, gets it right back for 3. Davenport, back iron, no. Rebound comes out, pulled in by Marcus Smith. Second chance opportunity. Jumper from the elbow won't go down for Cole, but another rebound. Put back for Davenport. This time it's on the floor. Diving after it is Smith and Falconberry, and he snuck a timeout in there to save the possession. Heads up play there by Marcus Smith, the senior.
One thing we saw in the girls' game, Josh, was a lot of scrap, and so we get a good look at that from the boys' side there. Looks like we're having a timeout.
Yeah, he snuck it in there. Should just be a 30-second or actually the guys are sitting.
Well,
no, they're not.
One team is. The other team isn't. So even the ref isn't sure. They're going to call 30 seconds. Yeah, so one thing about a 1-3-1 defense, it can be hard. Maybe probably not as hard as a 3-2 defense, but still difficult to get your rebound assignments good. And so I thought Lexington, one of their first possessions there in the 1-3-1, kind of dodged a bullet in that they gave up a couple open looks, just they didn't go in for Sulphur, and then they didn't get a good rebounding position. But they were able to survive that one as they're down early.
4:28 to play here in the first quarter. Oh, these Sulphur uniforms are very Chicago Bullsy, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, the only thing that makes them look a little different is a couple of the players, 3 players, are wearing a black T-shirt, which is allowed as long as everyone's doing that.
Yeah, that's interesting. You don't see that a lot in high school. It seems like you always have to wear the same color as the jersey.
Normally you do, yes. But as long as every player who wears a T-shirt is in black, I think it's okay.
Kind of like it. It's a little more NBA-ish. You see the shooting sleeve on a couple guys, leg sleeves, different colors.
We're trying to
Into the game
something
for
out.
Sulphur here, by the way, we're trying to figure out what the stoppage is. Garrick Cisneros. He's a 5'10 senior. He's getting ready to do the inbound there.
So Sulphur will inbound, and they're going to have 2 players at the free throw line here against the zone, that being Cole and Willis. So it'll be interesting to see what – I haven't seen too many baseline out of bounds plays with this formation, so we'll see what they can do.
Cisneros will fire it out in the corner. Open 3-ball for Bridge Barrett. Clackham's and 1. Bridge Barrett is off to a very hot start to his season, his 3rd 3. You take a look at it on the instant replay. I'm not sure the foul is actually on. A couple guys crashing in. So they're going to get it on Mixon, Colt Mixon. That's his first. Wow.
How about that? We have in both games we have a 4-point play potentially.
Into the game, by the way, Mixon comes after committing that foul. Hunter Olson, another senior, off the bench for Lexington, replaces him. Barrett's free throw does roll home, so it is a 4-point play. I believe that's 13 points for Barrett already. Of his team, 16. I think. Maybe 12. Bad math. 3-pointer here for Falconberry won't go. The long rebound comes out. It is saved by Lexington as Ty Mixon buys his team another opportunity. He'll get it back. Pump fake and drive. Mixon pulls up from the free throw line. Awkward looking shot, but it rolls home.
Yeah, he was not really comfortable with that shot, but he still got it in because he has a soft touch there.
Bridge Barrett, heat check, Clackham's! I think he's on pace to win every award in America with the start to his season the first 4 minutes in. 19-9, Bridge Barrett is lighting it up.
He's going to be a McDonald's All-American at this point.
Yeah, give him the Gatorade Player of the Year now.
And he's only a sophomore. Usually only seniors go to that game.
Pull up here from the elbow. Another awkward shot for Mixon, but it almost went in again. And a whistle and a foul. It's going to be a charge against Lexington. So a hot start for the road team here.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that a 1-3-1 zone defense is, unless you have really sounded your assignments, maybe not be the best defense to play against a hot shooter. And that Barrett got open against in a baseline out of bounds play a couple possessions ago because they had divers, did Sulphur, and the defense had to take that away. And you can do that sort of thing against a zone.
Barrett in the corner to Davenport. Long pass here to the far side to Cisneros. Nice ball movement. Barrett, another open look from the elbow, or the wing, excuse me. That one doesn't go. So finally a miss from deep for Barrett.
So Lexington dodged the bullet there. Again, I don't know if this defense will work against Barrett while he's hot. When you have a shooter that hot, he got too wide open there. And that's hard to do against a zone, or when you play a zone, is to stay with a shooter like that.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Fast start to this one, 19-9. Falconberry, crossover move, feeds it off to Hunter Olson just in the game for 3. That won't go. Rebound is rained down, though, and saved by Rollins. Second chance opportunity for the home team. Pump fake, get a man in the air and drive. Right-hand shot won't go. Contact, and it's a charge. Wow, a charge going to go here against Deer King, and a turnover.
Really good pump fake there. But, again, you have to be conscious of where the help player is. Do you go all the way? That's when you run a risk of drawing a charge. Or do you stop short, shoot a pull-up jumper, or kick it out?
So Sulphur has it back up by 10, 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Cisneros with it on the wing. Crossover move, almost lost his dribble. Gets over to Barrett. Back to him. He'll drive, jump step, shot up, air ball, caught by Olson. And Lexington gets a stop that they needed.
And Cisneros had Barrett wide open. They need to keep looking for him.
Falconberry back the other way. Right-hand floater won't go, but he able to, I think, maybe embellish that contact a little and get the foul on Davenport.
No, he did a good job going up when Davenport reached in.
Yeah.
I have to give Falconberry a lot of credit for the way he drew that foul.
So he'll get to the line and shoot 2. Make sure we thank our first quarter sponsor while Falconberry lines up, which is Clark's Floors and More. Locally owned and operated for over 27 years. Your one-stop shop for home improvement, specializing in floors. Go Lexington Bulldogs from Clark's Floors and More. First free throw no good for Falconberry. 2:09 to go in the first, 10-point game. Glad to be with us on the Oklahoma Sports Network, our very first basketball broadcast of the year. Split the trip for Falconberry. Had the girls game to get us going. It was a fun one. Sulphur won at 45-40, hoping for more of the same here in the boys' action. Off to a good start. Cisneros on the wing, under 2 minutes to play in the first. Barrett down to Davenport in the corner. Long pass to Cisneros. Good find. Open three. Too much. Davenport, those guys will put back. No. And Rollins gets the board. Boy, Davenport's only 5'10", but he was the highest guy up there on that. Couldn't finish it, though.
He's a bulky 5'10", too.
Yeah. Falconberry, gives it up. Here's Mixon at the top. He'll pull up for three. Clock comes right in your eye socket. Ty Mixon. And it's back down to 6 after the Hair and Care Salon 3-ball.
So count what, 5 threes made?
Barrett's got a bunch of them himself. Yeah. Mixon a couple on the other side. So I think you're right. Deer King had one too. Here's Barrett at the top. He'll fire again. Clackums. My goodness. Bridge Barrett.
I don't get the defense for Lexington.
You got to get on that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a coach by any means, but you got to get on that guy. 22-13, final minute of the first. Falconberry down the baseline. Nice move. Tough finish. Oh, he couldn't quite get it to roll home. But he draws the foul on Davenport. So that's going to be a couple early ones on the sophomore, Briar Davenport.
That's the second time Falconberry's just made a really good move in getting to the foul line. The way he stepped into that shot.
So it looks like Coach Grant Bates is going to get his guy Marcus Smith back in the game. Davenport with 2 early fouls. Falconberry hits the first one from the Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate Cherry Stripe.
Davenport will learn. You just have to be really careful how you position yourself when you go against a crafty player like Falconberry.
Young player, just a sophomore like you mentioned. Falconberry makes them both. So a high-scoring first quarter, 22-15 as we hit the final minute of the opening frame. Barrett will bring it up for Sulphur. This has been the guy so far. Crossover move, kick out in the corner to Smith. It was tipped a little bit. Got Marcus Smart in my brain. Marcus Smith, bounce pass, nice feed. Cole can't finish, but he's fouled. And Colton Cole will take a stroll to the Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate Cherry Stripe.
Yeah, right now, and this is what happens when you start hitting shots on the outside. It opens up things against the zone especially, and Sulphur has really executed well against either zone Lexington used, because Lexington just switched to a 2-3 zone.
First free throw, no good for Cole. By my count, if I'm doing my math correctly, I think Barrett's got 15 points. 4 threes, one of them was a 4-point play, and then he had a couple of free throws also. So he's got 15 himself. Cole misses them both. But despite Barrett going crazy, Lexington's still obviously right in this, only down 7. Can make it less here. Falconberry for 3 won't go. Rebound, though, put back by Rollins. That'll fall, and the foul. Skylar Rollins, the tough finish.
So look at his positioning on the offensive glass. He, like I said, he played football, and you can see the strength he has. If he's on the offside when a shot goes up, it's, you got to not only commit a body to him, but you have to really battle if you're boxing him out.
Can't complete the 3-point play. Free throw no good, so it gets it down to 5-point game, 25 seconds and counting. We'll see if Sulphur elects to hold. Barrett over to Willis. They don't look particularly interested in that at the moment. Willis feed to Smith. Nice ball movement to Cole. Tough finish. Colton Cole at the rim. Under 10 seconds. Lexington has time. Falconberry the other way, 5 seconds. Scoop pass to Mixon. Going to take a real deep 3. Ooh, it was right on line, but it rims out. That's going to end a fast-paced, high-scoring, and very fun first quarter of action. After 1, it's Sulphur 24, Lexington 17. Second quarter on deck right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back at Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Jada Idolette working the camera for us tonight here in Lexington. 24-17 lead for the road team, Sulphur. As we start the second quarter, a very entertaining first 8 minutes. A lot of scoring. I mean, we're on pace. Sulphur's going to push 100 points if they stay on the pace they're on, which is kind of absurd for high school basketball, obviously. Mixon on the other side for Lexington for three. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Devin Willis, the junior for Coach Grant Bates and the Bulldogs. Down the lane, oh, he got swatted. Falkenberry read that all the way and sent that thing flying.
He had a good idea, but that's when you go to the strength of a zone, when you just try to go coast to coast and the other team is set up, and that's a hard thing to do. Assuming Lexington's still in a 2-3 zone, looks like they may have gone man.
Good find off the inbound to Willis in the corner for three. Doesn't hit it, though. Put back attempt, no, but with an offensive foul on Cisneros coming in to try and get that offensive rebound.
So the question right now is, can Lexington defend better? I mean, they had to survive a three-point shooting barrage, of course, by Barrett. But the reason they were able to do that is they scored some on their own.
Here's Mixon in the corner to Falkenberry. Deer King, rocket bounce pass to Falkenberry, feeds it off. Nice ball movement here to Mixon. Tough shot, though, won't go. Rebound, Rollins, put back, no. Mixon skies in again, but he's going to knock that out of bounds and go over to Sulphur.
Rollins rushed that. I mean, I like how active he is. He's been getting offensive rebounds, but that one he forced. He could have been a little bit more patient and composed himself. I don't think Sulphur has anyone who can play with him inside.
By the way, in the game for Sulphur for the first time, number 22, Dagan Lemming. He is a senior, 6 foot even, off the bench. Barrett for another three. Oh, boy, that was halfway down and out. Rebound pinballing around and ends up in the hands of Deer King.
Well, it's a good shot for Sulphur because they need to keep trying to get him open.
Back to the way, here's Ty Mixon. Right side of Hunter Olson. Falkenberg. Right side, Olson for three. Back iron, no. Rebound is loose. Ends up in the hands of Deer King and a second chance for Lexington. He'll go ahead and fire. Front of the rim, no. Rebound pulled in by Cisneros, and Sulphur get the stop.
These teams are not shy from three-point range.
No.
And, yeah, Lexington should look to shoot threes against a 2-3 zone, but might be a little too eager to do that.
Here's Barrett on the other side. Some nifty handles, and he gets the shooter's touch. Bridge Barrett, 17 points for the sophomore.
That's not an easy shot to defend.
No. Falkenberry the other way for three. Front of the rim, no good. Barrett skies for the board. And the lead can get back on double figures here with a bucket. Cisneros, pump fake once. Now he'll drive. Nice feed to Smith, and he puts it in. A great dish from Garrick Cisneros. The Sulphur bench and crowd is fired up. And Lexington wants to take a timeout and talk about it with 5:57 to play until halftime. And it is going to be a full timeout. Okay, I was confused, but teams are kind of acting like they were going to go back out there. Kind of threw me off. 5:57 to play until halftime. Well, now we have Mixon going out like he was going to shoot a technical. Do they call it technical? That's exactly what's happening. They got Mixon shooting a technical here.
I didn't see what happened.
I didn't either.
Only thing it could be.
They got somebody celebrating or something.
Someone celebrated or said something.
Yeah. So Ty Mixon shooting technical free throws, hits the first one.
They have Cisneros on the scoreboard for getting a foul because the technical's a personal, so I don't know if he was the one.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't see it. So Mixon hits them both, and just like that, the lead is trimmed back down to single digits at 9. Does the full timeout time reset now? Kind of interesting situation. Now they're going back out there.
Yeah, that was a hard thing to read. I know initially the Lexington head coach, Tyler Thetford, wanted a full timeout. And I don't blame him. His defense has not been playing very well. Yes, you got to give a lot of credit to the young Mr. Barrett.
Yeah.
But even without that shooting barrage by him, Lexington's still giving a lot of points in the paint. So with that in mind, that's a tough technical on Cisneros.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, Lexington's also cooled off this quarter from the field. And so you give him a couple free throws to help him with that.
So back in the game here with the ball is Colt Mixon. And this pass from Deer King was intended for Ty Mixon, but he just sailed it.
Yeah, Lexington's just off right now on offense. I mean, that's just I don't know what that was.
Yeah, just
not in sync on offense. I'll
a little
just say
too
that.
much, yeah. So back over to Sulphur, 5:40 to play in the first half, 28-19. Here's Willis down the lane, right-hand floater, bank shot in. The touch off the window.
We've seen that a couple times from him.
Yeah. Back out to 11, 30-19, 5:25 to play until halftime. Here's Ty Nixon with the basketball as Lexington tries to work their way back in this a little bit before halftime. And that's not going to help. Another turnover by Deer King. It's just a bad pass. Intercepted by Cole. Fast break. Smith, long pass into Willis. Oh, what a play to save it in the corner. And they'll set back up. Cisneros thought about the three. Instead, he'll go down the lane. Pass blocked. It ends up in the hands of Barrett. Clackums. That worked out poorly for Lexington, as after all that, Barrett got an open three, and he hit it. That's 20 points for Bridge Barrett. He's outscoring Lexington by himself, and it's not like Lexington hasn't put up any points.
Well, this quarter, their offense is a problem.
Yes.
Good pass there, though.
Deer King can't finish, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line with 4:43 to play until halftime.
So Lexington is trying to do the right thing when it comes to attacking the zone. But a couple of times they would go high-low, they'd hit that short corner and try to find a cutter, and you just got to make sure you're making a good read on the defense. They did there to get to the free throw line, but they have not had too many good possessions this quarter.
First free throw no good. That's not helping. If you're Lexington, you only have 2 points in this quarter so far. You're trying to work your way back in and match them on their firepower. Got to hit your free throws. That's not what you need. Missed them both. Rebound, though, goes out of bounds and is going to stay at this end. So Lexington buys themselves another opportunity.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Skylar Rollins for contesting that missed free throw or going for the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
And that's what forced that out of bounds play for Lexington.
Nixon tried to get into his brother, but it was deflected. Now it's loose. Big contact collision in the middle.
I think that was
a
after
foul?
I think they went out of bounds. I think what happened is for Lexington, I believe that was Ty Nixon. When he went for a steal, he was stepping along that sideline, and so he made contact with the ball, and that happened before the players collided.
So Sulphur gets it back after that. 4:30 to play. Here's Willis. Left side is Cisneros. Rocket pass to the cutting Smith. Kick out to Cole. To the top, Barrett. Pump fake once. Ooh, almost moved. Puts on the floor now. Little stutter move. Good find in the corner to the wide open Willis for three. Clackums. Devin Willis, and Sulphur is just bombs away from deep. They now lead it by 17. Yet another three-ball, hair care and salon three-ball. Deer King drive won't finish. Willis another rebound. Past the midway point of the second. Willis start the break all the way to the rim. Coast to coast and finish. And a scream on the back end. And Sulphur is doubling them up. It's 38-19.
Yeah, you got to realize when Willis has the ball, he wants to go to his right. He really sells out to go to his right. You got to find a way to cut him off early.
Where does Lexington go for offense? They need points. Probably your best bet right here. Ty Nixon pulls up for the long two. Can't get it to go. Rebound is loose. Ends up in the hands of Smith. Fire ahead to Bridge Barrett. Barrett to the rim, and he lays it in. 22 for Barrett. And this game's gotten out of hand a little bit here now as it's a 21-point lead for Sulphur. Mixon pulls up from the free throw line. That'll go. And, boy, Lexington really needed something to drop. They get it there from Ty Mixon.
Can they play defense? I know the last basket for Sulphur was off a turnover. But still, even without that, Lexington's defense just has not been able to challenge Sulphur consistently in any way.
So 3:04 to play until halftime. A timeout here taken by, I think, Sulphur's the one who took this. And it is a full timeout, so we're going to take it too. 3:04 to play until halftime. 40-21 Sulphur on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back in Lexington. 3:04 to play until halftime. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Sulphur leads it on the road, and they have been lighting it up offensively. Just a barrage of three-pointers. Get down transition, a lot to like if you're a Sulphur fan tuning in tonight. Here's Willis, the other side. Kick out Marcus Smith for three. That won't fall. Rebound, though, Skyform pulled down by Davenport. Boy, he can really jump. Barrett lost the moment, but gets it back. Sulphur can kind of reset some things. There's Willis. Nice pull-up move. Got it. Boy, Devin Willis is smooth.
And that took place because Sulphur got the offensive rebound because Mixon was too far under the basket on that missed shot there. He was not in good rebounding position.
That shot won't go. And a turnover, though, forced by Lexington. Get themselves an opportunity, and they didn't take advantage of every possession they can get. With the ball here for the Bulldogs for the first time, that's Gage LaGrace, number 11. Falkenberry takes that three ball, won't go. Rebound, putback attempt by Rollins, no. But there's LaGrace, can't get it. Falkenberry, another rebound, shakes off a guy, and it goes. Wild sequence there, but eventually Zeke Falkenberry puts it in.
Yeah, you know.
He'll take it.
Lexington, they're getting some quality looks. But that was a struggle still. They missed several good looks, too. They just were good for them to stay on the offensive glass.
Poked away here. Rollins chasing in the backcourt, and he's going to get called for a bit of a shove there on Dagan Lemming, who was running into the backcourt to run that down.
Yeah, Rollins is still on in a football mindset there a bit. But you don't mind it. He's playing probably harder than anyone else for Lexington at the moment. He's going to have to come out, though, because that's his second foul. They're going to miss him. He's been one of the only guys who's been consistently rebounding and making anything happen for the Lexington Bulldogs.
So Coach Thetford's got a couple of guys who have getting in for the first time here. He's also got Elijah Pearman into the game, 6-foot junior, number 21, just checked in. Here's Smith underneath. Spin move, can't get it to go. Rebound is loose, and they're going to say Barrett was on the baseline when he tapped that back in, so it goes back over to Lexington.
Lexington dodged a bullet because Marcus Smith for Sulphur made a really good cut there coming off a screen.
Here's Mixon, two-hand pass. There to LaGrace, gets it back, turnaround, shot is good. Ty Mixon's had some nice shot making in this first half from kind of unconventional angles. Got that one to go. 1:08 to play until halftime. It's back down to 17 as Lexington just trying to hang tough right now. That's not going to help. Barrett down the lane and put it home. 24 now for Bridge Barrett.
Well, even though he's been making threes, I think Lexington applied pressure on him too early. Defend the three, yes, but you don't need to put pressure on him, 5 feet within the timeline.
Three ball in the corner here for Olsen, won't roll home. And the rebound comes out to Sulphur. They got to go back to the way. 40 seconds to play until halftime. Here's Davenport across the lane. Right-hand shot, no. Rebound, Cole. And it's knocked loose. Smith able to run it down. And Sulphur gets themselves another shot here. Under 30 seconds. And Coach Bates might be telling his guys to slow down and take the final shot of the half. They certainly can. It looks like that's what they're going to do.
You love taking the final shot when you're ahead.
You're up by 19 on the road here. As the clock takes down to 10 seconds here to play until halftime. Willis, guarded by Olsen. Crossover move. Going to take it right at him. Right-hand floater. Won't roll home. Rebound is ripped down by Pearman. Gets it off to Olsen. He's got to fire a full quarter. He's run out of time.
He's fouled before.
He fired the length of the court, but he was fouled. Or there was a whistle, I should say. They're not in the bonus yet, so it wouldn't really do a lot for him. Looks like they're just going to let the half go here. I'm not sure when that whistle came in. I guess they're saying it didn't happen in time. So that's going to end.
I'm surprised. It looked like they called a foul before the clock wound down.
I'm assuming that he's just saying that it was right at the buzzer, so they're letting it go, I guess.
I didn't agree with that. I think they should have given Lexington the ball back with about a second to inbound.
Yeah, probably, but not the way it goes. So at the end of the first half, it's 44-25 Sulphur. A fast-paced, high-scoring first 2 quarters of play, and Lexington's got some work to do. The girls had a big comeback to do, and they got back in it earlier. Couldn't quite get all the way back, but they got back in it. We'll see if the boys can do the same. Got timeout here for half. Stick with us. We'll be rejoining you in just a little bit for the second half. Sulphur leads at 44-25 after 2 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Friday, just a few minutes away from getting the second half started here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The tip-off of the high school basketball season. Sulphur leads Lexington 44-25. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just a few minutes away from getting the second half started. But like we said, tonight's the tip-off of the high school basketball season on OSN. But the end of the football season has not yet happened on OSN. Right at the top of the broadcast, Jordan, you and I talked about how we did that Dell City Carl Albert Classic high school hoops championship game last March. Now we get the football version on Saturday at Chad Richardson Stadium, UCO, their home stadium there in Edmond. It's going to be an awesome game, and we have it for you on OSN. Obviously an audio-only broadcast just like basketball because of NFHS rules and things like that for championship games, but we're going to have you covered. It's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to this thing on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock kick. Should be good weather, relatively speaking, for December in Oklahoma. Going to be wild. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, first I want to say about this, we're gonna try to have a very comprehensive breakdown of this. I meant to show a graphic with this, but I'm Middale based, and so I host a Middale coaches show every Wednesday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we hope to have both head coaches on, not at the same time, of course.
That might be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be. They go way back, those two.
Yeah.
So that's part of the intrigue. And I plan to actually break it up. We're in the middle between talking to the two coaches. I hope to have Colton Fleetwood, the Dell City color commentator.
Yeah.
And then a beat reporter for Carl Albert. I have to apologize if I forgot his name. I actually haven't met him yet, but I know he covers Carl Albert for the Midwest City Beacon. And so, but then I'll hope to start off at 6:30 talking with Coach Jones, maybe some Dell City players. Coach Jones, the Dell City head coach. And then around 7:30, interview Mike Dunn, the Carl Albert coach, hopefully a player or two, we'll see. And we plan on the following week having hopefully the whole football team for whoever wins come on. That would be December 6th.
That's great, yeah.
So
it's going to be awesome.
As far as the matchup itself goes, Battle of Unbeatens. It's kind of strange Dell City and Carl Albert don't play each other, right? They haven't the last 2 years in the non-district set portion. They normally do. And so because of that, they're undefeated. They got quarterbacks who can throw the ball and run some. They got bedlam running backs. They got receiver and / cornerbacks that are so dynamic. These teams mirror each other a lot of ways. It's just shocking to me that one of these teams is going to lose. That's how good they've been. And then it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about the battle of undefeated teams is that one of those teams is going to lose. And when it happens, you'll be shocked because you expect both teams to dominate, which they haven't for the most part this entire season.
Without question, and there is some bias, I guess, because they're OSN schools and we have the game.
Yep.
But without question, that is the game this week in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best state championship game. That's going to be awesome. And like we said, we'll have audio broadcast of that game on Saturday, 1 o'clock kick pregame at 12:30. And that is the Dell City and the Carl Albert crews. So both
two
crews.
different broadcasts.
Yeah, we'll have both broadcasts there. So you can either hang out with Kirk Norman and his crew with Carl Albert or John Keelty, Colton Fleetwood, and that Dell City crew as well. As for our basketball game here, back to it. And Sulphur gets on the board quickly right there. But that is going to be an awesome game on Saturday.
I'll
Excited for
say
that.
one more thing to echo what you're saying. Yeah, who these days ever looks forward to a Bixby game? I mean, you know what's going to happen there.
Yep.
Normally you give Jinx a great chance to win in 6A1, but not anymore with Bixby.
No, that's going to be an awesome game on Saturday afternoon. I might even have to make my way over to UCO as well. Another gig at 24/7 Sports. Like you mentioned, so many OU ties in that game on the Carl Albert side.
Yep.
Might be really fun to watch. As on the other side, Mixon puts that one home. Is this the first time I noticed we've had a basketball broadcast before football was done?
Yes.
Very rare.
Yeah. Well, we also have Altus playing tonight, by the way. Their football season.
That's right.
is over,
Altus and Anadarko tonight on OSN as well.
I'm really happy we're getting off to an early start. We probably will not have anything on Friday. We'll just be – normally Carl Albert hosts a classic there on Friday, but that's changed because 5A and 6A basketball, another thing to look forward to on the basketball side there is district play, and that's taken away the Titan – not the classic that's played in January, although that's going to change up some, but they do have a get-together. We got a technical foul this game.
Yeah, another one. It's the second one. I'm not sure who the one earlier was on, obviously, and who.
I think it's on someone from
who was this
Lexington.
one on? Yeah.
Well, they will announce that second.
The Sulphur crowd seem to enjoy it. So, yeah.
The ref near the Sulphur sideline.
So Falkenberry gets called for the tech. He's not on the floor. Oh, yeah, he just subbed out. That's why. He was on the floor.
You know, you got to remain composed when you're not playing well at home. And unfortunately, Zeke Falkenberry is one of the best players for Lexington. Somehow he didn't do it. I mean, he obviously said something. There wasn't any type of gesture. He said something that one of the refs did not care for.
So Barrett hits the first free throw as if he needed more free points here. He gets them both. He's got 26 now. 48 to 27. 6:50 to go in the third. He knocks those down at the Mr. Yeti Snow Cones and Hot Chocolate charity stripe.
We really appreciate them for helping us be here. They were our second quarter sponsor, and now it's Hair with Care as our third quarter sponsor.
Also, of course, our 3-ball.
Yep.
Yeah,
and they've been busy this game.
Yeah, that they have. Just Bridge Barrett alone making them get their money's worth. Cole has it stripped away. Willis comes down for Sulphur. Willis at the block here. Kick out to Davenport. He'll go to his right. Right-hand scoop to Marcus Smith. Too much. Rebound goes out of bounds. And we'll go over to Lexington. Obviously, keep up with Oklahoma Sports Network on Facebook and the app and things like that to let you know when we have some basketball broadcasts coming up in December. And obviously, after the holidays, when it really gets revved up.
Well, I'll tell you,
into January, February, then the postseason, obviously.
I'm keeping an eye on next Tuesday. Carl Albert goes to Crossings. I'm not saying we'll do it yet, but stay tuned. We've got to see what if there's any other stream going on.
That shot blocked out of bounds.
And I'll also say we will have Carl Albert hosting Elgin the following Tuesday, December 12th. And Midwest City, Del City, they're back to playing twice a year. And that'll be the first game will be December 15th. Those games will be on the network.
One at each place.
Yep.
Those two gyms are so funny because they're the same gym, essentially. That's
just different colors.
Yep, they're the same place, just different colors. Having been to both several times now, last couple of years. Mixon down the lane here. Shot won't fall. 6 minutes to play in the third. Sulphur leading by 21. Long pass looking for Cole is knocked out of bounds. Good job hustling back there by Skylar Rollins to break up what would have been an easy bucket for Sulphur.
So can Lexington establish a really good defensive rhythm? They're going to stick with a man defense, which I think they should. Can they get the offside rebounds? Can they defend screens better than that?
Willis
got the turnover, though.
Went off his fingertips, ran into Rollins, basically hit his head a little bit there. Now this ball goes out of bounds, and Deer King's going to stay at this end. He got stripped.
Deer King's had a bit of a rough night. And
hit that early three, and since then he's had some frustrating moments, certainly. Yeah, they tried to fit this pass underneath here, and it goes off the fingertips of somebody from Sulphur, got a hand on it, and then it went off of Mixon from there.
So the key now for Lexington, stay composed. They just had one of the best players get a technical. It's just something that you want to now try to dust it off. And even though this game, it's not district standings, they're not in districts, but it still counts as far as polls go, because 3A and 4A still rely on that for seeding in the tournament coming up in late February, starting then.
And it's important to keep in mind that obviously Sulphur is a class above Lexington, of course, 4A, 3A. And this Sulphur team, I mean, it's one game, but they've looked pretty darn solid tonight. And I'll be keeping a close eye on this Bulldogs team as we go along throughout the season. Not that this game is over by any means.
They've had the best player on the floor, but then also, even without him being great, they've executed very well on offense.
Yeah. And now they're going to get Mixon for reaching in on Davenport. It's going to go against Lexington. And we're getting a lot of emotion here.
Well, I think that's the right call. Look, when you have a defensive player reach in and the offensive player catches it, and there's contact, you're going to call a defensive player for the foul.
Yeah, it looked like pretty clearly a foul to me on Lexington. Yeah.
Deer King, I mean, he needs to be careful. He's talking to not the ref who made the call, but another ref not liking that. That's not a good call to argue against, in my opinion.
So Sulphur keeps it. The foul was on Colt Mixon, the younger of the two. That's his second. Here's Davenport down the lane to the rim, and he is fouled by Deer King. And Mixon will go to the line here.
But just more good offensive sets, and now you're starting to see why Lexington went against. Again, Deer King needs to be careful. I see he should really stop talking to the refs.
He is a talkative guy out there on the floor. That's his third personal on Drew Deer King. Senior.
But
beginning his final season, obviously.
We're seeing why Lexington switched to his zone early in the first quarter as this free throw goes in. This Mr. Yeti free throw. As again, Sulphur runs some really good sets on offense.
Second free throw for Davenport is good. Gets them up to that 50 plateau. 50-27. 5:06 to go in the third. On the Oklahoma Sports Network, the tip-off of a brand-new high school basketball season. Mixon, bounce pass underneath to Deer King. Nice scoop pass to Ty. Mixon can't finish it, but he is fouled and will go to the line. It was a good feed from Deer King.
Yes, it was.
Mixon will go shoot a pair here.
Lexington had a bit of a dry stretch in offense in the second quarter, but they do some good stuff on offense too. They've just been barraged right now, but that was Deer King did make a really good pass. I've been a little critical of him, but I have to give him credit for that.
First free throw no good for Ty Mixon. One of the 4 seniors in this starting 5 for Coach Tyler Thetford.
Yeah, I think what's gone wrong with Lexington is very correctable, and they're in 3A, of course. They're not going to see Sulphur again this season.
Split the trip.
I think they're going to be in good shape.
I agree. It's just been Bridge Barrett went nuts simply, and Sulphur's got him in a couple of areas. Here's Smith to the top. Willis thought about it. Instead, he'll give it up to Bridge Barrett. He's had 26 points already tonight. Feeds over to Willis in the corner. Take a long 2. He's got it. Boy, Devin Willis has just got a very smooth way about him. Hits that one.
I just got to continue to give credit to Sulphur, because their football season ended about 12 days ago, or 12 or 13 days ago.
Yeah.
And they've looked really sharp on offense. You just don't normally see that on the first game of the season.
Mixon shot won't go. Ends up in the hands of the younger Mixon. That one won't go either. Rebound pulled in by Cole.
And I should mention, I was told that they have quite a few players who play football on this Sulphur team. That's why I mentioned that about football. So they have not had a lot of practice
They look
time.
it. A lot of these guys look like they play football.
Yeah, they've had one scrimmage as a team, and they're doing a really good job. There's more good execution. That's just a good
nice
steal
feed.
and score.
Yep. Nice feed. Willis down to Smith. This is a good job getting in position to stick it home. Tell you what, Will's just a junior, too. He's got a lot of upward trajectory for him as the shot is good for Ty Mixon, who's really been the only consistent offensive threat tonight for Lexington. Other guys have had moments, but really only Ty Mixon has been able to be leaned upon.
He has a really good touch around the basket.
Yeah, he does.
And that can come in handy a lot.
Barrett kick out to Willis. Low pass. He ends up picking it up. Right-hand floater. That won't go. Rebound, though, goes back to him. Put back attempt, no. Got his own miss again. Turnaround. Third shot won't go. Deer King has it, and he falls out of bounds, and it will go to red and black.
Well, this is another problem Lexington's had, the defensive glass. They've had trouble at times there. Even with Skylar Rollins on the floor, and I like him, I think he's a good rebounder, but you got to have team rebounding, and it hasn't been great for Lexington this game.
Davenport comes out for Sulphur. Back in comes Cisneros. Willis gets his shot thrown. Ends up in the hands of Colton Mixon. They'll start the break for Lexington the other way. Here's Deer King, open 3. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound, put back attempt by Mixon, no. Ty Mixon comes flying in. Him and Willis are now on the deck. We had some lights flicker there.
Oh, yeah,
somebody lean on a light switch.
Yeah, you gotta protect those light switches. It might have been is it the cameraman who just walked in wearing that sleeveless vest? We're not gonna see him on camera, but
I don't know.
Right, standing right by the mascot, the bulldog. We know whoever the mascot is, it's a bulldog. It's like
stay at this end with
no
Lexington.
real problem.
No. Mixon gets it in, high pass, but it's pulled down. Here's Deer King in the corner and rockets it off the fingertips of Ty Mixon.
Well, you had the right idea, but you need to wait for Mixon to be ready to catch the ball in a good spot. And I don't think Mixon was ready. He was just establishing position there when he was flashing baseline.
Deer King has had a few passes tonight that are just the right idea, but just rockets that have been Kind of hard to handle. Great find. Barrett down to Smith. It gets the easy lay-in. Marcus Smith does a nice job in the paint of kind of just getting himself in the right spots.
And Barrett showed he's not just a shooter.
Yeah. Rollins the other side, feed out. Open three ball here for LaGrace. Clackham's. Gage LaGrace, the senior off the bench, the lefty, knocking that one down. It's a Mr. Yeti snow cones and hot chocolate, hair with care salon three ball. Skylar Rollins ends up with the ball here after the turnover. Final 2 minutes of the third. In the corner, Deer King thought about it, said he'll put it on the floor and drive to the rim. Right hand scoop layup attempt. That'll go.
Really nice play.
That was a nice finish. In between a couple defenders.
Probably got fouled. Hopefully he doesn't lobby the refs too hard for it.
Cuts the lead to 21. Still a long way to go here. Barrett to the lane. Lost it, but they're going to say contact on the arm, and that'll send Bridge Barrett back to that cherry stripe with a $1:39 to go in the third.
Oh, here's to see.
Got a football score right now. High scoring football score, but a football score.
What do we see from Bridge Barrett going forward?
So Deer King picked up his fourth on that, and he is pleading with the bench to leave him in the game with the 4 fouls.
It really wouldn't be the worst idea when you're down 21. It's like he's going to come out.
His pleading didn't work. They're going to pull him out. Barrett missed the free throw. Hunter Olson replaced him. That was kind of funny. You could clearly read his lips saying, I'm fine. I won't get the fifth. But Coach Thetford
you
not
can never
willing.
be 100% certain of that, by the way. You can play because you can't play soft.
Yeah.
So if you even put in a little bit of effort, there's a chance you're going to get a foul.
So how about that? Barrett misses both free throws, which is shocking. And Lexington has it back. Here's Hunter Olson for three. That won't go, but he's fouled. Devin Wills closed that a little too hard. And now 3 free throws coming up here for Hunter Olson. And obviously they're still well behind, but can get it down to 18 here. You're getting close enough that you can talk yourself into it with a big run.
Well, what I like that Lexington did, I like seeing this more and more. When you run a secondary fast break off a free throw, whether it's missed or made, and that's what Lexington did. So he flashed to the corner, and he got open. He drew a foul. This being, of course, Hunter Olson, who also plays football.
Free throw no good. That was the third foul, by the way, on Willis, which is important to keep in mind. If he gets his fourth, that would certainly be a guy Sulphur doesn't want to lose, even up by 21.
So Lexington's also had problems from the free throw line. By the way, Josh, this is indulgent on my part because no one else listening will care, but do you remember the times last year for basketball we called games that featured teams with the same nickname, like we are tonight with the Bulldogs?
Yeah, you challenged me with this yesterday, and I thought about it, and I couldn't think of it, and I meant to really go back and try to just figure it out research-wise, and I never did. I forgot, so I don't know.
Well, I'll mention it to you on the air here when I have a moment.
It's 56-36 after that free throw from Lexington. Cuts it down to 20. Davenport with it the other way for the Bulldogs. And you said it wasn't a pair of Bulldogs.
No.
Was it a pair of Wildcats?
No.
Tigers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now we're on to something.
Any idea who? That's one of them, by the way. There's another one. But any idea what 2 teams were named Tigers that we called their game?
I'm blanking on every Tiger. I can only think of Broken Arrow and Tahlequah. We definitely didn't do either of them. Did we?
Sure.
Did we?
We did one of them.
The long season. I guess we did do Tahlequah. That won't go. Tahlequah was in the Titan Classic, weren't they?
That's right. Do you remember they played in the first round?
Give me a color.
Same colors as Tahlequah.
Man, I feel silly for not being able to get
orange
this.
And black.
Who is it?
It was Norman.
Oh, come on. How do I not get that? Free throw good.
Well, we did a lot of games that tournament.
That is true. That was a lot. And it will be a lot again.
I'm going to go and say that they're going to reduce the number of games because of district play in 5A and 6A. It's hurt the tournaments, but that's something we can talk about later. But we'll hope to get some of it.
58-36. So it'll be a smaller field? Is that what the
yes.
Interesting. Final minute of the third, 58-36 Sulphur as we run under a minute to play here at Lexington in the third, I should say. Mixon takes a shot from the free throw line. Boy, what a tough shot. How did he get that to go? He's got a very kind of nice shooter's touch to him. He gets a lot of friendly rolls.
Listen, you can take over games from the mid-range like that if you have a soft touch and you have good instincts. So I'm optimistic for Mr. Mixon this season.
Davenport for three doesn't go. Nice rebound ran down there by Lemming. Davenport again, wild move to the rim, couldn't finish it.
Yeah, but this is
And
where
he's
you're
fouled,
seeing
though.
consistently Sulphur. They don't look that much bigger or stronger, but they've just been more physical. They've just been so much more assertive on offense.
There's no way
Getting the offensive rebound there.
this young man for Sulphur at the line right now, Briar Davenport, doesn't play football. He's been everywhere. He plays like a football player. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
His first free throw doesn't go.
All right, can you think of the other game that we had with two teams from the same nickname?
I got absolutely nothing. Was it in the Titan Classic also?
It was not.
Okay, then I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. The nickname is Eagles.
Eagle. Oh, it has to be Del City then.
That'd be one.
That shot here won't go for Davenport. I'm going to think about it in between the quarters.
Okay.
And I'll see if I can come up with it. Barrett underneath. Nice feed to Lemming, and he can't get it. But Willis there for the sky. And he is fouled with 15.6. And, yeah, like you said, just dominating the glass. And it's not even a size differential. You know, it kind of reminds me, we've done them a couple times the last couple years, of what Dale does to people. Where Dale does not have bigger players, but they just, it seems like they do. That's kind of what Sulphur's done tonight, where there isn't a huge size advantage. In fact, the biggest player in this game is Skylar Rollins at 6'3". But
which I think he's done well rebounding, but he hasn't gotten help, like I said. I think what happens is when you're good at running your offensive sets and you're consistently going downhill towards the basket, which is downhill, you use that term more in football probably, but it's also, I like using it in basketball, you're constantly attacking the paint. And it just opens up rebounding opportunities for you as well.
Split the trip makes it 59-38 Sulphur. 10 seconds to go here in the third. See if Lexington can get one more bucket before the end of the quarter. Mixon feeds it off to Olsen in the corner to the younger Mixon. This is Colt. He'll fire at the buzzer. Too much. And that's going to end the third quarter. After 3 in Lexington, it's Sulphur 59, Lexington 38. Fourth quarter on the way. Right here, next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back in Lexington, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jada Idolette working the camera for us. 59-38 as we start the fourth here in our inaugural broadcast of the season. I'm stumped. I racked my brain. I went through every Del City opponent I could think of that we did last year, and I can't think of an Eagle.
Off the air, you got close when you said Tulsa Memorial. It was the game before against Tulsa Edison Prep.
Yeah. I was thinking they were green, too, but I was wondering if I'm just getting the Philadelphia Eagles.
They would have been. They look just like the Eagles, except the Philadelphia Eagles, they have their mascot or their face of the eagle facing the other direction.
Yeah, that's right. I had it in my head as being green, too, but then I wasn't sure if I was so I was close-ish in my brain. Tulsa Edison, that's right, at the Lloyd Noble Center.
Yep.
That was a fun time as well. Hope to be there again.
Ooh.
Got a tie up here. 7:34 to go.
Yeah, Colton Cole kind of gave the look to Colt Mixon. Like he was a little frustrated with that foul, but nothing came of it. But there is some tension there, of course, because, you know, it's tough when you are losing by 21 on your home floor, and there's been some frustration part of Lexington.
You got a lot built into the start of the season, obviously. You build toward that opener. You're thinking about it. These guys will play football. I'm sure they've been talking about that basketball opener for a while.
We got a ref talking to is that an administrator?
They're somebody get ejected here.
I think they're going to throw a fan out.
I've seen some.
There's a couple ladies.
Are they the ones?
They're exiting. That would be. One of them is exiting. They're both exiting.
I'm not sure what happened there. So, all right.
I don't know who else it could be.
Lost out of bounds. I've seen
that just sounds nice, or not nicer, but better to say, hey, there's a couple of women who got kicked out of the game. Normally expect it to be a man or like a really diehard dad who lives vicariously through his child.
I've seen some pointing from the.
Or maybe it's someone else, though.
A few students.
It may have been male students. That makes more sense. There was a couple like middle-aged women. That was hard to believe.
I've seen.
They're getting an applause though from the Sulphur crowd.
Yeah, the Sulphur side is loving it, of course. Because I've seen some pointing from the officials, like over there. Couldn't really tell at who.
Yeah.
Of kind of saying, "Hey, simmer down."
Well,
but I'm not sure. Their student section here is right on top of the court.
Yep.
Which is the case in a lot of places, but.
Thing is, if the refs say you're out, you're out.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it. 3-ball Clackham's. That's Colton Mixon dropping that one in. Meanwhile, they got it down to 18. That certainly is still asking a lot, but we've seen crazier gaps get tightened. Barrett right-hand floater, boy, how the heck did that thing go? What a shot. Back out to 20.
Yeah, I mean, if these teams played again, they're not going to because they're in two different classes. But if they did, I'd give Lexington a chance. I don't think they're that much worse than Sulphur, but Sulphur has just really been so sharp on offense.
Long pass ahead. Here's Barrett in the front court, and Barrett puts it in, spins that one home. That's a 30-piece now for Bridge Barrett by my calculations, my unofficial stats. Pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's really skilled. And that's another part of it, too, is just the start he got off to. As a huge block, Cole completely swatted Elijah Pearman. With 6:16 to go. But the start that Barrett got off to, and Sulphur led this thing, wasn't a huge lead, but they got it by double figures in the first quarter. That's a tough way to start. You're playing from behind the whole way.
Yeah, it looks like right now the knockout punch was thrown early.
Yep.
On the other
Turnaround three, Clackam's Ty Mixon. Well, he's had himself a nice night as well. He's really done everything he can to keep his team in it.
Yeah, that goes to show he's played well. Bridge Barrett's gotten help.
He's a good player.
His teammates have been better.
Willis
right
to
there.
the rim and a nice finish.
That's a good example of that right there.
Devin Willis putting forth a nice effort to start his junior season.
Yeah, he's played well too.
That's what's scary about this Sulphur team. Barrett, sophomore. Willis, junior. Davenport's a sophomore. Colton Cole, number 5. He's a sophomore. These guys are going to be problems for a while. Mixon to the rim and a nice finish. Not going down without a fight here as the home squad with 5:23 left, down 19, 65-46. Make sure we thank our fourth quarter sponsor here too, which is Clark's Floors and More. Locally owned and operated for over 27 years. We got contact and an offensive foul here. Your one-stop shop for home improvement, specializing in floors, Clark's Floors and More. See them up in the corner there. Got their phone number and their website. Check them out. Give them your business.
Well, Colt Mixon's played well for Lexington. Skylar Rollins, again, he can complement a team that can score really well. He just needs a little bit more, like I said, help on the defensive end.
Pass deflected and stolen here by Marcus Smith.
But he did a good job drawing that charge.
Pass ahead to Davenport to the rim. Can't get it to go. Olsen fighting for the board. And it goes out of bounds. Will stay at this end with 5 minutes to play. Cisneros back in. He'll replace Willis. I mentioned to you I have a very loose Lexington connection. It's not really even a connection, but I did Lexington games for years at the Grady County Tournament, which is an awesome event that Lexington takes part in. This pass deflected, and they got it back. I believe they still do. I guess I don't know for a fact that they still do. I need to check their schedule. It's in January, kind of like the Titan Classic. Big event, bunch of small schools get together. It runs Monday through Saturday. It's a week-long thing. As Cole fires a 3, Clackam's. Colton Mixon cuts it to 16. And then used to be in it. They replaced, I want to say OCA used to be in it, then they stopped playing in it, playing something else, and Lexington replaced them. But that's a really cool event that Lexington plays in every year that I used to do on the radio. As Cole is fouled, he'll go to the line.
Again, one of the differences in this game, because, Colt Mixon has, again, Barrett's been the best player, but Mixon's not been far behind as far as offensive firepower, but Sulphur has just consistently been able to get in the paint. Just drive and dish, so Colton Cole gets fouled. By the way, he looks nice as a sophomore. He's got a good build to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the key guys for Sulphur tonight, really outside of Marcus Smith, as Cole misses that first free throw. These guys are all guys who will be back on the team next year, and in a lot of cases, the year after that.
Yeah.
Sulphur program that's in good shape under Coach Grant Bates. Cole gets the second one to fall, pushes the lead out to 17, 66-49, 4:25 and counting to play.
Which also means this is it's good Lexington schedule this game.
Yeah.
Even, every game counts towards the final standings, not the matchups.
Pass deflected, and a turnover. Cisneros starts the break. Every game counts, but at the same time, as Davenport just ripped it away and put it home. Nice play there by Davenport. Again, that guy plays football. Pass midway point of the fourth. Every game counts, like you said. As Mixon walks into a three, doesn't go. Rebound Olsen. But at the same time, this one loss is not at all going to sink you by any means, and you're going to play the rest of your schedule. Everybody makes the postseason, so everybody will have a shot. Now, certainly, you need to work your way into having everybody makes it, but if you're a lower-level team, you have to go on the road at a high. I mean, you're doomed to fail at that point. So the regular season is still very important.
That's a charge.
So I think playing the game is still worth it. The benefits still outweigh the detractors. I think challenging yourself early in the year, I think, is still a good thing overall.
Rough sequence there for Skylar Rollins. He got a rebound, and you just got to be careful when you get a defensive rebound when you put the ball on the floor. He just put the ball on the floor right where Davenport could take it from him, and then he commits, talking about Skylar Rollins, an offensive foul where he just lowered his shoulder too much. I mean, if you make it obvious, they'll call it, and it's his fourth foul.
Here's Barrett. He's had a great game tonight. 30 points to start his sophomore season. What a showing here on the road.
And it's not just the shooting.
No, yeah, he's dished it off. He's got to the rim.
He looks like he really knows how to play the game. Now, he's not very big. I don't know what his ceiling will be as far as playing in college. I'm sure he will somewhere. But I'll be curious to see what type of numbers he puts up as a junior and senior. Will he be playing in the big house? At some point, I bet he will.
Only one game, but they certainly look like a team capable of it tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
68-49, Sulphur leads it, 3:12 to go. Cisneros on the right side, guarded by Olsen, to go to his left, pull up from the elbow, poked away. Got it back, though, and then finished it. What a play by Cisneros.
Yeah, there's just Johnny on the spot. They get the ball stripped, so they improvise. I mean, they've just been this has been a masterclass of offensive basketball by Sulphur.
Tough shot for Mixon, doesn't go. A whistle and a foul away from the ball. 2:51 to go.
Looks like he'll be on Sulphur.
Yeah, would appear that way. Foul is on Cisneros.
By the way, this game's been pretty even since there's probably middle second quarter when Sulphur got up by about 20. It's been pretty even since.
Yeah, it took a 19-point lead into halftime, so it's only been a 2-point spread since half. But obviously that's more than okay with Sulphur when you're leading by as much as they were. Layup attempt won't go. Smith fighting for the rebound. Now it's loose. Olsen goes diving after it, gives it up to Deer King. And he'll go ahead and fire a really deep three. Clackums. That was a swack'em. Swishy. Cuts it down to 18 with 2.5 to go.
He's not shy.
No.
He asserts himself.
No, he's not shy.
Constantly.
You are right. Barrett the other way. Scoop pass in the corner to Davenport for three up the back iron. No. Cisneros the rebound. Had his shot blocked out of bounds, but it will stay at this end. And again, I mean, Cisneros is checking in at 5'10". He's in there among Ty Mixon, who's 6'2", and Rollins, who's 6'3", and he's coming down with the board.
Yeah, again, defensive rebounding has overall been not good for Lexington. That's even with
the tough spot, the biggest one.
Good athletes like Rollins and Deer King just hasn't worked for them as a team.
Davenport, that's a 5-second violation. Good defense there by Lexington to force that. Get the ball back with 2:15 to go. Still playing hard.
We'll see if they do anything to chip into this. They're not taking their best players out. They're keeping their best players in.
2:10 left. Here's Mixon at the elbow. He'll pull up and take a long two. Got it.
Boy, he has made that consistently.
It does not matter. Guys have their hands in his face.
Well, watch the replay. He dribbles to a spot. He hesitates, and then just shoots over the defender.
Boom.
You don't see that very often.
No. Under 2 minutes, Barrett's going to get called for a push-off. So Lexington's got some momentum here, but it just feels like probably too little too late, down 16 with 1:53. But this is like the most consistent kind of offense and defensive comfort that we've seen.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it at all, but Barrett he does get away with that some. He does extend his non-dribbling arm.
Really deep three from Olsen's got too much. Mixon fighting for the board, gets tied up with Barrett. The arrow will keep it down here with the home team.
That's a one-on-one jump ball, meaning both players were number one. But no, I think even though the game's probably over, the Lexington coach, Tyler Thetford, was so happy that foul was called on Barrett. I think he's been lobbying for that foul on Barrett.
Through ball in the corner there.
Oh, wow.
Boy, hit the wall hard.
That will be, I think, his fifth.
Yeah.
What a way for Deerkin to go out. I'll tell you this.
He's fun to watch, though. I'll give him that.
He's a tough-nosed player. You got to –
I enjoy him.
An animated player. He's still talking to his coach. I don't know what he's talking to his coach about. He's got 5 fouls. It's not like it's his coach's decision whether he goes out or not.
He's very expressive.
Very expressive. He'll talk to the refs.
Yeah, I don't think foul is on him. That's his fifth.
You didn't get a technical, though. That was forgot which player it was Falkenberry, who hasn't come back yet. That was a big moment there, too. I mean, if Falkenberry could have stayed in and not get that technical to start the first or second half, this would be a different situation here. So I don't know why that free throw that was shot that was missed doesn't count, because you got to take out the player that fouled out first. That's Lemming.
Go. So they get LaGrace back in his place.
Yeah. LaGrace, not as big, but he's a senior. Yeah, it's a bit of a break for Sulphur, because you had Dagan Lemming shooting a free throw he wasn't supposed to, and he missed it.
He missed it,
So he gets to that practice rep.
Gets it back and hits it that time, puts it back out to 17.
That's what kickers like to do when you try to freeze them on calling a timeout in football. I think we saw that's it for Barrett as he comes out. What a game.
Yeah, 30 points for him tonight unofficially.
We don't have a player of the game sponsor, but he would win it.
He would be it very comfortably. Second free throw, no good. Ball on the deck, picked up by Ty Mixon. $1:38 to go in this one. LaGrace has it in the corner. He'll fire it underneath to Mixon. He gets swatted by Cole.
Well, when you catch the ball in that spot, you just go up. It's easy to expose the ball and have your shot blocked. Oh, did they call a foul?
Yeah, I guess they did, yeah. Nixon's going to go to the line.
I did not see that, but.
By the way, I didn't notice this earlier, unrelated, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Keely Givens from the girls' team that's the cheerleader underneath there. You don't really hardly ever see that. I could be wrong.
I've heard about that, girls that will do that. You got to admire that. Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure. I've only
How about that?
seen her play one basketball game, so facial recognition could be lacking from this distance, but pretty sure.
That's an option girls have, but don't use it to take advantage. I don't know if boys have it or not for the girls' game, but it makes more sense to go because girls play first.
Right.
To play and then be a cheerleader. That requires some dedication, I'll tell you that.
For sure.
I have heard of girls who do that.
Split the trip for Mixon, 16-point game, 71-55, 122 to go. Give Lexington credit. They've really battled to try and get back in this. They've given it their all. Sulphur's just been a little too good. They've kind of just fought them off.
It's not effort. I just think Lexington they really need to be, more attention there. I mean, you got to be a little composed there if you're Sulphur. You got this game. But Marcus Smith, he's a senior, needs to understand when you have the lead like this, even if the game's kind of over, you're going to see the defense do that. They're going to try to get in your face.
I got to say, I don't know if I've ever seen fans on both sides this dialed into a game that is decided. They are both fired up for everything.
And
I like it.
This is not a rivalry.
No,
not
but
yet.
It's
Maybe
felt
it will
like
be.
one tonight.
Maybe it will be.
It's felt like one for sure.
Final
minute.
I hope they play at Sulphur next year.
I hope we do it after this one. 45 seconds to go. Smith dribbling here, showing off some of the handles. He'll feed it over to Davenport. Sulphur probably not in any big rush, and Davenport gets bumped. And he'll go to the line and shoot a pair. Both teams are in the bonus now, or have been.
So Sulphur is winning this game because Bridgebury was great, but Devin Willis, Briar Davenport, players like that, Garrick Cisneros, second, third, fourth best players perhaps tonight. They played better than the second, third, fourth best players for Lexington too.
So back in for Lexington comes Perriman, as that was the 5th foul on Colt Mixon. He fouls out. Just 40 seconds left, obviously. Academic now. Sulphur's going to clear their bench, get some of their end-of-the-bench guys into the game here at the very end. As Davenport's free throw rattles in and out. Looks like we got Hayden Ramo, a sophomore. Trey Anderson, a junior. Caston Tully, a sophomore. Trying to get everybody. 55 is Jet Terry. He's a junior into the game as well. So 4 new players in. The only guy staying out there, of course, is Davenport. He's a shooter.
Does he make this, or does he want to stay in and miss it? You think about that stuff. Nope, he wants to stay in.
He did miss it. Although it goes right out of bounds, it backfired.
I'm not saying it on purpose, but
Sebastian Rivas will come in. A senior will replace him.
Sometimes you wonder if a player knows they're going to get subbed out for when they shoot a free throw. Does that make them want that free throw a little bit less? Probably not in this context.
My reward for making it is like, come out. Only 40 seconds left. Davenport just a sophomore. He's going to have a lot more minutes and games to play over the next few years. Nixon, meanwhile, hits another tough mid-range shot. But the mid-range is not that popular of a thing, obviously, in modern hoops, but he is really lighting it up from there.
Well, you say that. You think about the Thunder and SGA.
True.
He's great at it.
True.
Here's the deal. Analytics may not like that shot mid-range, but it's still something that if you have a scorer's mentality, you need to stick with it. It's been proven over the years. 20
seconds left. Who wants to get a bucket? Underneath, scoop layup up and good for Caston Tully, the sophomores in the score column.
Just more good ball movement. I mean, they have put on a clinic. And again, very few practice time with these players coming from football for Sulphur. Only 1 scrimmage. But offensively, and it's not just all on Lexington, Sulphur executed on offense at a way you don't normally see in your first game of the season.
So Mixon dribbles it out, and that's it. Sulphur wins it 73-57. Obviously, the story of this game, Bridge Barrett went crazy in the first half especially. Kept it going all night, but especially that first quarter, he was unguardable. Ends up putting 30 points on the board, and then from there, Lexington did everything they could to battle back into it, but Sulphur just never really opened the door for him and just kind of fended him off the rest of the way. So they win it by 16. Both the girls and boys teams for Sulphur get their seasons off to 1-0 starts. Jordan, it was fun. Great way to start the year.
Well,
fun to be back.
So this is a unique situation here. People might wonder why Lexington when we've gone to places a little more closer to the metro. But it starts with this. Lexington girls coach Jacoby Couch, who has Mid-Dell roots. I mean, he graduated from Dell City High School back in the day, but also coached there. So he's aware of the Oklahoma Sports Network, and he wanted to get us out to do a game. He gave us 3 dates. This was obviously the first one. And we're like, okay, if we can get it in, we'll try. We'll go very first date we have. And not only that he asked us, he helped us get the sponsors that made this happen. And so normally when we do Game of the Week, we don't always have sponsors for it, but we do here. So we want to really thank the quarter sponsor we've had for most of this game, Clark's Floor.
Clark's Floors and More.
Clark's Floor and More. They're not in More. They're
and more. Clark's Floors and More. And I should enunciate that. Yeah, you're right.
Now, the owner's daughter is also the Care and Hair with Care.
Hair with Care
So
Salon.
that's our 3-point sponsor, so there's a family connection there. And then, of course, Mr. Beans. It's a mouthful to say. That's why I gave it to as a free throw sponsor. The Beans, Mr. Yeti, Snow Cones, and Hot Chocolate. And we appreciate those 3. And that obviously makes it easier. So the lesson here, I mean, yes, we love doing this for free at times, if that's what's needed. But we actually – obviously need sponsorship to go out and do games like this. And so we were really happy to have it. And we really appreciate those 3 sponsors. And we appreciate Lexington for letting us sit in a really prime spot. And big thanks to our camera operator.
Yep, absolutely. Jada Idolette, never done it before. Did a great job. Appreciate her stepping up and helping us out tonight. Makes it easier. Jordan and I can do these games, just the 2 of us, if we need to. It's not preferred. We can do it. We've done it many times. But it's certainly easier if we have some extra hands, so appreciate that.
Well, we like having a camera operator separate from that so we can just focus on the game.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's it. Sulphur wins it. They can start the season 1-0. It was a fun way to get it going. Feels good to have basketball back and hopefully we have as many good games this year as we did last year. Like we said, next up for the Oklahoma Sports Network, your Coaches Show tomorrow. What time?
Coaches Show tomorrow, 6:30. We're going to talk only one thing and one thing only, and that's Del City Carlisle. Where we're going to take we're going to take a in-depth look at that from the perspective of both teams at the Buffalo Wild Wings and Del City. We're going to talk to members of the media about this matchup. I cannot wait, and of course the game itself Saturday.
It's gonna be awesome.
We got 2 broadcasts going, the Carl Albert broadcast and the Del City broadcast, starting both probably at 12:30, and kickoff of that game is at 1. And I cannot wait.
You simply don't get high school games in any state, frankly, with the level of D1 players and talent that'll be. Because it's not even just the number, because the number is high, but the level. I mean, all these guys are going to OU and Oklahoma State and TCU. I mean, some serious talent going to be on the field this weekend.
You also have some really good players that may not be D1, or they might be, but as of right now, they're not. Like Braylon Adama from Del City or Caden Davis from Carl Albert. And those are great football players as well. So if you're familiar with the teams, even if they're not D1, I mean, Braylon Adama had a 95-yard punt return. You ever hear about that? Normally players don't field punts inside the 10. But Braylon Adama against Guthrie, who is ranked number 3 in Squirtle, and that's a quarterfinal matchup, he had a 95-yard punt return. Caden Davis had a sequence against on that same day against Collinsville, where he had a big tackle for a running back for a loss, then got 2 sacks in a row. He's a middle linebacker. Normally they don't blitz. 2 sacks in a row, and then the next time Carl Albert had the ball because of all his defense, they lined him up in the backfield, had him run a fly pattern, and he dove into the end zone for a spectacular catch. You have those type of players as well. It's just and great coaching all around. Great coaching. So I cannot wait for that matchup.
It's going to be great, and that's on Saturday. You have the Coach Show tomorrow. This game is on Saturday at 1 o'clock, pregame 12:30. And again, the Del City and Carl Albert crews are both OSN schools. We'll have separate broadcasts for both, not like in hoops where we just did one, Jordan and I. There will be separate crews in football, so you can – I don't know how you want to play that. You want to decide who you're rooting for, I guess, and listen to it that way. I don't know how you want to decide which crew. They both do a great job. And so
I'm going to try to tune into both.
Try to tune into both as best you can, and it should be a lot of fun. Coming up this weekend over at Chad Richardson Stadium there at UCO. Great facilities. It's a great venue for state championship games every single year. Going to be really cool. That's it. It's going to be a great basketball season. We look forward to being with you all year long on the OSN Game of the Week. And obviously tons of Middale games, the Titan Classic, and then obviously lots of postseason hoops when we get there as well. Jordan and I will be along with you for many, many steps away and more. Obviously, the Altus crew had a game tonight. There will be more games than just Jordan and I, but we'll have quite the slate here over the next several weeks and months, obviously, going into the postseason and hopefully Lloyd Noble Center again whenever it's all said and done there in March. That's it. We thank you so much for watching. OSN Game of the Week, first broadcast of the year is in the books. Both Sulphur teams get it done. Jordan will talk to you tomorrow with the Middale Coaches Show, getting you ready for that state title game. Then Saturday, Del City, Carl Albert, 1 o'clock kick right here on OSN, 5A state title game. That's it for you tonight. One more time for Jordan Ray. I'm Josh Calloway, our camera operator, Jada Idolette. We thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.